consideration to when it is making allocations to the THA for the operations of the business of Tobago in any fiscal year. Those things speak to the absence of the multiplier effect, the removal of Tobago from the center of economic activity, the lack of educational opportunities. A host of things are listed in the law because they recognize Tobago was starting from a place of disadvantage. He said Tobago's population has grown to 5.1% of the national population. If we are working with the DRC methodology as a minimum, Tobago should have been allocated 5.1%. Responding to a question from Newsday on October 8th, the Central Statistical Office, CSO, said the 2023 mid-year population estimate of TT was 1,367,510. However, it was unable to give a recent breakdown of the population of the individual islands. It said that data was only available from the census, which was last done in 2011. In that census, the 2011 national population was 1,328,019, 1,267,144 in Trinidad, and 60,874 in Tobago. Richards told Newsday that using a formula from Dr. Selvon Hazel, chief economist at the THA Division of Finance, we have been tracking our own population growth to calculate our GDP. He said using the 2023 CSO estimate, it calculated Tobago had 5.1% of the national population. He said the Minister of Finance and Prime Minister were both informed of the THA's position. Richards said Imbert was presented with the THA's data in person at an August 30th meeting. We are at 5.1%. That should have been our minimum entitlement. We have put on 0.7% to deal with those conditions that the Act speaks to. We are not asking for anything that is unreasonable. We are asking based on facts and science and the population requirement of the people of Tobago. Richard said because Tobago's increase in population was disregarded, the island has been denied over $400 million in funding. The central government owes the people of Tobago $490 million. He said Ministry of Finance staff seemed either unaware of or uninterested in how the DRC recommendation came about. Richards said the chief secretary wanted to go to court to challenge Tobago's minimum share, responsibility to pass laws and regulation for the good and harmonious governance of the Republic of TT. That means passing laws and regulations to ensure the progressive relationship and harmonious development of the people of Trinidad and the people of Tobago. When you treat the island like you are treating the island, it breeds a kind of thinking among Tobagonians that we are not considered worthy. Police. Helpful cop gave gunman drops in Siparia. Enrique Rupert 5 hours ago. A police vehicle. File photo. A police vehicle. File photo. Police have responded to the viral video on social media where two men were seen exiting a marked police vehicle near a bar in Siparia before crossing the road with what appeared to be guns and heading into Kura Road, Siparia. A police statement on October 8th said an immediate and comprehensive investigation was launched into the matter. The preliminary investigation revealed the Siparia Criminal Investigation Department, CID, got information of two armed men on High Street, Siparia on June 27th. Two suspects, 18 and 27, were arrested and taken to the Siparia CID for inquiries. Police said the investigations revealed that the suspects were dropped off earlier by a marked police vehicle attached to the Criminal Records Office in Siparia. The suspects confirmed this. Immediately upon confirmation of this development, a further investigation was conducted involving the officer who transported the two suspects. The officer provided a detailed report of the incident. Investigations have revealed that the officer was not involved in any collusion or criminal activity, and his actions were indeed in good faith, assisting what appeared to be stranded individuals, the police said. Avinash Vinton-Alahar, 24, was charged with possession of a firearm on June 28th. He appeared at the Siparia Magistrates Court and was fined $8,000, with 3 months allowed for payment. In default, he faces 18 months hard labor. The 18-year-old, who was found in possession of an imitation firearm, was released following a review of the case by senior officers. The police said they take all matters that erode the public's trust and confidence in the organization seriously. We remain committed to transparency and accountability. The TPS assures the public that we will continue to uphold the highest standards of professionalism and will take swift action against any form of misconduct or abuse of authority. The police encouraged anyone with further information related to this incident to come forward and cooperate with the investigation.
So if anybody that knows, that live the Port of Spain area, or ever see that lady or know that lady, she have a very, very good opportunity. It's a plus size, sweet self. To make money. So again, go up on Real Media TT on Facebook. Let's look back about 3 days ago. You're all going to see
Tobago,
the views.
Society not serious about school discipline. Corey Connolly 5 hours ago. Braden Roberts. Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, TUDA. Tobago officer Braden Roberts says the society is very hypocritical in its response to school and discipline. He was responding to an incident at the Mason Hall Secondary School on October 3rd in which fecal residue was allegedly thrown on a student's school bag. Roberts said contrary to a media report, feces was not thrown on the 13-year-old Form 2 student. These allegations are not accurate, he told Newsday on October 8th. The student would have been in school pretty early. It was a little after 7 a.m. when she would have left the classroom, and a student or someone probably went to the toilet or wherever. They got feces water and threw it on the student's bag. He said the bag did not contain many items, but the school would have put forward that they would have replaced the bag and the items. That's the report I got. The incident occurred on the same day St. Stephen's College student Jaden Lalchon, 15, died by suicide after being bullied for some time. Lalcon's funeral took place at the JR and Deconvention Center in Prince's Town on October 8th. Roberts said school bullying exists. Sometimes the incidents come to the media, and we have the sensationalization around it. But when we have a society that has been quite hypocritical on the issue of school and discipline, these things will continue. Because when we have, as part of the disciplinary matrix, we talk about hairstyle policy, we talk about cell phone use, we talk about uniform and dress code, this is the same public that comes and speak against it, because hairstyle in isolation is a very frivolous issue for schools to be fighting. Roberts said hairstyles should not be viewed in isolation. It is part of the package of discipline in students. And when we have a minister who is eager to jump on a typewriter and issue memos that nullify or strike out hairstyle as a policy from schools, and then we jump on top of that by issuing another memo talking about graduation, we are eroding the same things and policies that schools have as part of discipline. We somehow want to pull them out and itemize them. We already abolished corporal punishment. Now you can't talk harsh to a student because that is verbal abuse. And there are rules since 2016 that highlight everything that police officers cannot do to school children. Roberts claimed the powers of schools in relation to discipline were being eroded. So, we are tying the hands of principals and teachers and throwing them out on the deep, but complain about them not having a handle on their students for not doing well. I am not eager to answer to the question about what we can put in place, because we are taking our good time to erode everything that schools would have put in place historically to aid discipline in students. We are where we are because of the things we have been doing. Roberts also said the Student Support Services Division, which is supposed to address bullying as part of its mandate, is significantly under-resourced. Tobago police is investigating.
So you all be proud of yourself and your real media TT.
Tell me.
Facebook also send message also opening us up to a wider market. Wow. God is good, you know. Hey, boy. Hard work is pay off.
I see them.
Hey, let me say blessing good morning to Davey. Right, so let me hold on that for now. Let's hold on that. So anybody, I'll come back with that a little later on. Anybody that know that lady, please
Fire
give me a
officers
call
worried about
and my
slash
message.
budget for equipment.
Right?
Gregory M.C. Burney, 5 hours ago, president of the Fire Service Association, 2nd Division, Keone Guy. With fire stations lacking fire trucks and only 4 having a functional Jaws of Life tool, the Fire Officers Association is worried about the decision to slash the Fire Services, TTFS, budget for buying vehicles and equipment by more than half. Speaking with Newsday on October 8th, head of the association, Keone Guy, said he was tremendously concerned over the reduction in this allocation in the 2025 budget compared to last year. Last year, the TTFS was allocated $11.2 million for new vehicles and equipment, and although the estimated spend was only $714,000, the figure has been reduced to just $4 million in this year's budget. This was part of the almost $7 million decrease in the draft estimates for development programs allocated to the TTFS in fiscal 2025. Guy suggested the association feels ignored and says he wants answers. Over the past 7 or 8 years, we have highlighted the shortcomings within the organization and the challenges that we have with using vehicles that are able to properly deal with the challenges of emergency response. So to see that there has been a decrease in the allocation of purchasing vehicles, we want to know the reasons for this. Given what we have highlighted publicly in the media, he said there are numerous fire stations without fire trucks, listing Point Fortin, Mayaro, Morvant, Belmont, Woodbrook, and Chaguaramas, and saying there were others. And that's just in Trinidad. In Tobago, we have a very similar problem. Guy said since a new fire truck costs almost $4 million, there is no way the allocation will be sufficient to address the need. He said the government has not bought new fire trucks in more than 10 years, and added the issues facing the TTFS were not being taken seriously. That is absolutely inadequate, especially when the Minister of Finance has announced that the government is looking to purchase 2,000 vehicles over the next 3 years for the police, with 500 being delivered in this fiscal. For only a fraction of that investment, we could outfit the entire TTFS. To allocate $4 million to us just demonstrates that the government clearly is not taking this aspect of public safety very seriously. The TTFS remains in the present condition as it was, and that is quite unfortunate. But Guy's concerns are seemingly being addressed, as National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines has said a number of fire trucks have been ordered. Speaking in the budget debate on October 8th, Hines said the new fire trucks are expected to be delivered next year. On order for delivery in 2025 are chemical industrial tenders for the Point Fortin station for $39.5 million, emergency tenders, and a water tender for the Penal Fire Station totaling $109 million, for the Mayaro station, a water tender, a breathing apparatus, and a hose layer costing $48.9 million. And for the Woodbrook Fire Station, we ordered a water tender for $4.9 million. Contrary to Guy's comment, Hines said there are only 4 fire stations without vehicles, and he expects that number to be slashed in half by the end of this week. I spoke with the chief fire officer this morning, Tuesday. 2 of the vehicles are with the engineers at the moment, so he expects that by later this week those 2 will be on schedule, so we will be in a much better position. He added self-contained breathing apparatus, SCBA, has also been ordered. The contract was signed, and we are expecting delivery by March 2025. In the intervening period, we received, thanks to a company who operates in that kind of industry, a donation of 77 breathing apparatus sets. And as I speak, they are being deployed. But Guy raised concern over the type of SCBAs the government had ordered. He says those recommended by the TTFS's specialist departments were based on U.S. and Canadian standards, while those ordered by the government are based on European standards. He He said officers also have to deal with other equipment shortages. We have fire stations without portable pumps. More than 80% of fire stations are without portable generators. There is also a shortage of functional hoses, as well as a host of equipment that we require, like rescue equipment, lines, harnesses, rescue vests for supply officers. KPB proposes Jaden Act to combat bullying. Richard Kahn 5 hours ago. Opposition leader Kamala Persibasessor, Center, attempts to console Nellie Lalchon as her husband, Rohan Lalchon, looks on during the funeral for their son Jaden Lalchon at the JR&D Convention Center in Princestown, October 8th. Photo by Roger Jacob. Opposition leader Kamala Persibasessor, Center, attempts to console Nellie Lalchon as her husband, Rohan Lalchon, looks on during the funeral for their son Jaden Lalchon at the JR&D Convention Center in Princestown, October 8th. Photo by Roger Jacob. Opposition leader Kamala Persibasessor has promised to seek justice for Jaden Lalchon, 15, who died by suicide last week after years of alleged bullying at St. Stephen's College. Persibasessor attended Lalcon's funeral at JR&D Convention Center, St. Croix Road, Princestown on Tuesday, where she spoke to over 200 mourners during the service. While many are outraged by the incident, Persibasessor agreed with previous and subsequent speakers who all echoed the biblical message that only God can dole out vengeance. She believes this is the most appropriate way to honor his memory. Jaden was no bully. He would never want us to become bullies due to our anger. It may be difficult to accept this, but the best way for us to honor him is to not ourselves become like those persons who bullied and tormented him. Despite this, the opposition leader said that did not mean action could not be taken against those who terrorized others. While we always advocate forgiveness, justice must also be served. I promise you that we would take all steps to ensure that justice will be served on all those who preyed upon and hunted your son, and also on all those who turned a blind eye to his torment when their duty was to protect him and all those in their care. She reiterated that hers was not a promise of vengeance, but rather serving justice. Speaking to reporters after the service, Persibasessor suggested introducing bullying-specific legislation. We need to pass law, and I think we call it the Jaden Bill or the Jaden Act to deal with bullying as a whole. Apparently, it's something widespread across the nation's schools and bigger places, so we would work with the authorities with respect to this. While she admitted the opposition was limited in pushing legislation until it was elected into office, she said the UNC would begin drafting the legislation from now. The legislation was first proposed by Princestown MP Barry Patterath at a candlelight vigil for Lalchon on Monday night. He said he would take it to Parliament via a private member's motion. According to the Offenses Against the Person Act, bullying is already considered a criminal offense. Assistant Commissioner of Police for South Central Wayne Mister has publicly stated that an investigation into the incident is underway, and once completed, a file will be submitted to the Director of Public Prosecutions. Anyone who needs help or thinks about harming themselves can call Lifeline, 24-hour hotline, at 800-5588, 866, 5433, or 220-3636.
You do say you curry it down, chunkate, you put it on a table, nice vegetables, and then pay them pass and eat it?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Prepare to meet the going on when you prepare to meet the pot, then defeated.
All right. So where's your contribution this morning otherwise? Hey, man, they're really the PNM and them really so senator, no?
Republic
them,
Bank
so them
held
come and eat that
liable in
bad boy?
safety deposit box heist. Jada Lutu 18 hours ago. Republic Bank branch in Rio Claro. File photo. Republic Bank branch in Rio Claro. File photo. Republic Bank Ltd, RBL, has been found liable for a break-in at its Cuva branch in 2022, which led to the theft of a pensioner's valuables from a safety deposit box. I find that the defendant's security systems fell short and below the required standard, and the claimant is entitled to judgment. Justice Carol Gobbin held in a judgment on October 7th. Curtis Muthara's attorneys are expected to present the court with submissions on the quantum of damages. In his lawsuit, in January 2023, He identified $297,694 in jewelry and cash stored in the safety deposit box. Muthara was represented by attorneys Keel Taklalsing and Stefan Ramkasoon, while Kerwin Garcia, SC, Tanya Rowley, and Hilary Mudd-Dean represented RBL. Muthara was one of the scores of customers who lost jewelry and family heirlooms when RBL's Kuva branch was broken into during a long holiday weekend in May 2022. Between May 27th and 30th, the bank's branch at Southern Main Road, Kuva, was broken into. Criminals smashed through a concrete wall and gained access to the vault, which contained safety deposit boxes and records belonging to the bank. The bank said at the time of the incident, CCTV cameras focused on the cash vault, but not the safety deposit boxes vault. This was deliberate to ensure customer confidentiality and privacy, the bank's security manager said in his evidence. His evidence was that the bank had an intrusion detection system, IDS, monitored overnight. The IDS comprises an alarm system with magnetic contacts for doors and windows, motion sensors, vibration sensors, glass break sensors, and a communication system that transmits messages from the branch to a central monitoring station. That weekend, the alarm system was armed on May 27th at 6:55 p.m. and the branch was opened the next day afternoon to service the automated banking machines. RBL maintained the system remained armed until May 31st. The judge said the bank's evidence confirmed that these measures notwithstanding, a group of intruders shockingly managed to conduct a 4-hour operation between 1:02 a.m. and 5:04 a.m., using heavy equipment, drilling walls, crawling on the ground avoiding cameras and sensors to carry out a well-planned and well-executed heist, breaking several security boxes and managed to do so undetected. All of this took place in the vicinity of a police station. She said the evidence raised an obvious and serious question as to whether the systems were sufficient or if some or more components failed. It came down to whether in the circumstances of this case, the measures provided were adequate, and it is not an answer to say that the system did not fail, rather that the thieves succeeded. If the system allowed such a brazen enterprise, could the defendant be said to have discharged its contractual obligation to take reasonable care? Gobbin said the evidence from the bank's security manager established that the vibration sensors failed to pick up unusually significant vibrations. She said he was reluctant to say they malfunctioned, surmising it had something to do with their positioning. I am not persuaded that they may not have malfunctioned, but the explanation of placement did not negate a finding that the defendant had breached its duty of care. It was not enough to simply install vibration sensors if they were not located close enough to perimeter walls, and especially on the wall to the rear of the building which afforded the perfect entry point away from public view. It is safe to say that in installing vibration sensors, the bank would not be contemplating unauthorized entry via main established doors leading in and out of the bank. She said these motion sensors failed to pick up the movements of at least 3 people in the bank for 3 hours. These were persons who were carrying heavy equipment. Even if they were crawling on the ground, the failure to trigger the alarm was not sufficiently explained. The absence of live monitoring in the context of what might be considered reasonable in the current environment of Trinidad and Tobago and at the time of the heist pointed to a failure to provide adequate security in the circumstances. Live monitoring is now a fairly common feature of security measures adopted by ordinary homeowners even at significant cost, she said, adding that this has now become necessary. What the defendant has sought to label monitoring is in fact response by third-party providers to the triggering of an alarm. Monitoring and response features are not the same. That no alarm was triggered for 4 hours during the invasion has not been satisfactorily explained, but in any case, the failure establishes that the system fell below a reasonable standard of care. Gobbin said the failure to provide vibration and motion sensors in the vault was inexcusable. She also rejected the bank's evidence there were no sensors in the vault because they did not have electrical conduits, but were put in the general area to pick up movement. Clearly, from the events that led to this litigation, placing sensors in an area outside the vault proved ineffective. The explanation of not having cameras for privacy could not be considered reasonable if cameras were installed and activated after closure. She also said she attached no weight to the bank's evidence that its security measures were standard in the industry.
Yes, Lennox got to show me these scenes too, man. Eh, real people interested, boy? Oh. Nice. Let me just put that lady in place for you all there. All right, let me just Opa, it's so you might see Lennox a little bit, man. Yeah, let me think you might see Lennox a little bit. Yeah, so look just see a piece of him there. Right. I'll put it across. Right, look Lennox Smith right there. Let me move Mikey and Lennox. I have to open this screen a little more. Right, and now let me give you all. I need to get in contact with Trinidad and Tobago. Please, anybody that know that lady, need to get in contact with her urgently. Watch out that lady now, boys.
The claim was unloaded.
The ground report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Hey!
The ground report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Is it necessary to have so much soldiers in this small country?
The ground report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
To shine soldier boots with taxpayers' money. When Tony tell Tommy, he put them in St. Lucie. Unemployment high and the treasury low, and keep buying books to cover soldier though. I see them books and more books on the feet of young children.
Oh boy!
And more books.
But before I said morning to Lennox Smith, because he may know, because he lives within the area, and he will find somebody to find that lady for we was spotted on Charlotte Street. Right now, she are more popular than more people are interested in her than the amount of people that living in Trinidad and Tobago, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. They say Trinidad and Tobago have 1.4 million people. This lady's over 2 million something views and many interested. Well, let me just finish off this here. Yeah, let me just finish off this here. Quick. Ann Brown, good morning to you. Noel, good morning. Sita, good morning. Chachanja, good morning. Sukal, good morning. Hey, Clapping, good morning. And we have a lot of new people lock on to here, Trinidad and Tobago. Again, due to, because the page also grow since under admin. Again, let me say thanks to Emily and all of you that have been making sure you all put all. Valerie! Oh God, Valerie, good morning to you too, man. In helping Real Media TT grow. We move also to from, we had approximately boom, before we start to actually work this page. We had about, about 42, about 37,000 people following us, was following us. Now today, especially since that woman hit,
Tommy,
right, our last check, we
insane.
climbed to about all kind of something thousand people
The treasury
following Real Media TT and growing.
to cover soldier to see them. Books, books, and more books.
We're picking up our average people every 28 days of over 1 million and something people. Well, a show included now with her in the next 28 days. A show it is that they will show we pick up about 45 to 6 to 7 million people.
To see how we and you must have on
Mira from Princeton, a pleasant good morning to you.
soldiers.
Primago Sign, good morning. Carmen, good morning. Edric, good morning. Dunsoon, good morning. Anne-Marie Boland, good morning. What about my girl Anne-Marie on the whole? Anne-Marie Amin, a pleasant good morning to you. Hey, I forget Matilda Rhodes. And my next friend, Marilyn Sicharan, man, good morning. Hey, not forgetting A and 8 doubles out there. Noel Brown. I don't know if she ever come and buy doubles by her lady. If only see she there, just let she know. Pitbull looking for she. Hey, Karen Thomas, good morning. I sure somebody go tell me that they know that lady boy. Please. Ryan, good morning.
Sarito,
Hey, all Denise that lock on, good morning. I'm seeing a lot more Denise and all.
fire.
Job, good morning. Lopez, good morning. Earth Explorer, pleasant good morning. Glenn, good morning.
Was it right to get it? The claim was unloaded.
Ima D, good morning.
Chance.
Atu, a pleasant good morning to you. Crystal, good morning. Hey, look, Marilyn Sicharan, man. Marilyn, yeah, I'm a friend too, man.
Gun in the hands. You cannot stand to fella non-existent.
Richard Jamaraj, good morning. Vika Balkaran, good morning. There's plenty more people now, but we done them. Oh my God. Done nearly 500 between Facebook and YouTube. I really can't call all those names. Maki Thunderboom, a pleasant good morning to you. So I'll just brochure all your brochure. Anaram Sami, a pleasant good morning. If you know that lady, you're always in tongue too sometime. I really need to meet that beautiful Trinbagonian woman. It have opportunities for her, and I'm seeing opportunities for Real Media TT in her. They ain't talk bad manners. So Drew, good morning. Tara R. Maharaj, good morning. I'm Molly Sanderson, a pleasant good morning. Nathaniel Neville, good morning to you, my brother. Trini Nairo, good morning. There's so much, boy. Farid Mohammed, a pleasant good morning. Rampasad, good morning. Samuel, good morning. Oh boy, so much of you, man. So much, and all the new, I make sure and welcome all the new people. Bujam John, good morning. I don't know my partner, but Lennox just keep out to talk. Right now, my mouth hurting me, boy. Hey, Jerome, good morning. Abigail, good morning. Michael Scott, good morning. Anthony Medford, good morning. That's it, I hope. Annette, good morning. Hi, Drakes, good morning, yes. Oh, boy. Darren Daniel. Oh boy, if you know that lady, you know anybody that know that lady, please, I need to get in contact with her. Kenrick Passad, I know if she ever go come away and use a trucker man, you say the border safe. I talk to people border. Donald Trump. Oh, what happened to that? I'm all over the country. Andy, I drive all over, Andy. I meet them, Andy. They tell me that's stupid talk. Andy, nobody's breaking that border, Andy. I don't know what Lennox Smith is talking about, Andy. And what's the Lennox Smith face?
Soldier.
All he does is just smile.
Yeah.
That is old boy. Lennox Smith don't know evidence. You ain't living there. You don't drive no truck across there. Kenneth Passad. There's be right there in Texas plenty. Andy. I was in Texas, Andy. Andy. But I don't know if because you're struck all over. And I'm sure you ain't gonna miss that beautiful Trinbagonian woman. And if ever you see she just on the horn and tell she the pit bull looking for she, Kenrick Passad.
On the feet of young trigger, happy recruits. Nice.
Hey, Darren Daniel up again. Good morning to you. Hey. Hey, Trini guy, good morning. Somebody has some kind of names, eh? Hey, Sylvia, good morning. There's some names out of past because some kind of African names too. Hey, Sita, good morning. Waster. Right, only I can do all of this. Darren Reed, all of you, good morning. Ah, boy. Real people, boy. I was going to tell all of you. I good, I can read all of that. But before we start and I put on my co-host here again, let me just organize and I'm looking for this lady here. Anybody that could frequent Frederick Street, Charlotte Street, and in any way bounce up this lady. Right now, this lady have Real Media TT making waves, real waves on Facebook all over the world. So over 2 million something people have viewed this lady so far. Trinidad and Tobago have 1.4 million people. So she alone at this point in time worth more than the population of Trinidad and Tobago. My WhatsApp, I telling you all, is totally full with only foreign numbers. 9-digit, 10-digit, this Arab language, all kind of thing. I had to get a translator. Lennox Smith got to guide me. Well, this lady here could end up well off. 2 agencies called, showing interest. That one, an next person, he's in England, but he's a Nigerian. And he was like, Real Media TT. I'm going to pay anything to have her model at my club. What's the procedures in getting her across here? I say she's not no she's not no garden whore. She's not a prostitute. She's a beautiful Trinbagonian model. All I wanted to model her big beautiful self here. All right, let me make some put she up there quick and get my partner in full, my co-host. Right, let me make sure I move the ticker so you all will see her good. We are very interested in getting to know this lady. She have a wide range of opportunities waiting her. And I want to believe also waiting for Real Media TT.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Is it necessary to have so much soldiers in this small country? Oh,
biggest and all of you and saying you're not seeing these, let's face it, Real Media TT on Facebook. Real Media TT on Facebook. And you all will find her. Okay, Real Media TT on Facebook, you all will find her. So please just visit Real Media TT on Facebook and you all will find her. Right now she's really a person of interest. She gone worldwide.
On the feet of young trigger, happy recruits, I see them boots. Marching, threatening army troops. Tell them I say, what I do.
Nice. So that's it. Yeah, that's it. A little later on, I will put it up again while because I really need to get in contact with this lady here. All right, so let's close off that for a little while. Nice. Lennox Smith, before we go into all those details, well, headliners, I must say a pleasant good morning to you, my brother. I know you from Port of Spain, and I don't know if you are aware or have knowledge of that lady. It will be very important. And you'll also show us the opportunity to be able to, give her the opportunity. Wow. With the amount of interest it have out there, and make sure that our hard work and all ain't going in vain.
Well, good morning to you as well, my friend. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Yes, indeed. Of course, good morning to all and sundry, east, west, north, south, central, in Trinidad.
Why you looking so fadey?
Pardon me?
You look fade. You look fadey.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust it. I noticed that as well, but we'll see what happens. Duty calls. But a pleasant good morning to all and sundry, east, west, north, south, central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are streaming at the worldwide web. A pleasant good day to you. Yes, indeed. Of course, so welcome to the Real Media TT, of course, on the ground report, and of course, or carried as well on the corridor transformation on both YouTube and Facebook. Well, of course, Facebook you have to log into Love Until if you want to view from Facebook perspective. If you want to view from the YouTube perspective, well, of course, you log into corridor transformation. I was trying to detect the location. It appears that she was walking just opposite Chinchong Grocery, which is not too far from where we are here on George Street. Yes, remember George Charlotte Street is the other street heading west from George Street, and I think just around that area, it appears that video was taken. A wonderful, in fact, some people who were viewing it, of course, in Trinidadian style, they said, well, look, that is not just a feature of a human being to sit on one, but it appears to be a trailer. So I say, well, that is how, I don't want to sound sexist or anything like that, but that is some of the comments that were being made about, of course, that particular video. That being as it may, I will do my best as well. Of course, we are just on the other street heading east along Prince Street, so right at the corner. Anybody knowing her, well, of course, based on the information that we have and the interest that has been piqued, that if you wish, you can, of course, contact us right here on George Street. There's 55 George Street, incidentally, so people can, if you have the information, please, we will really be appreciative, and let's see if the opportunities that we suspect can, of course, materialize, depending, of course, on the desire and the willingness of the individual, of course, to take whatever opportunities that there may be. Having made the announcement. That being as it may, of course, we have several issues. Of course, the budget seemed to be the major concern, but of course, we have other, what we consider to be socially interesting issues, most of which are tragic. So the crime situation continues to escalate, and then, of course, you have a very tragic situation with that young man, 15 years, who took his life as a consequence of bullying. And then I am reading that there may be
It was
another.
really, 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 really
Yeah,
heartbreaking, that
yeah,
funeral. I
yeah.
also see Kamala Prasad, the sister,
Yeah, she made a
visited
very
that funeral.
stirring statement on the
Yeah.
matter. Yes, she said, of course, she would be looking at bringing private members' day legislation. I think the member for Princeton as well has come into it. But of course, the matter has also reached. I've seen an article where the matter has always also reached in the Parliament, with respect, of course, to this Jaden Lalchan suicide death, which is, of course, budget debate. So quite a number of issues, very tragic, very unfortunate, and it's of course, it piles on to what we already have as tragic occurrences, too frequent and not to be concerned in Trinidad and Tobago today. I mean, where did money go for road rehabilitation? Well, we too would want to find out that as well, because I mean, here it is. Dr. Rowley told us that he was busy saving life during COVID, and therefore the potholes had to have a life of its own, so to speak. Whilst of course motorists and other users of the road had to negotiate huge crevices in the roadway, as well as small ones, but nonetheless um, made it very difficult for commuters and the motorists to negotiate, and very expensive as well, because people lose their shocks and their front ends, etc. Doing that. But of course, I find Dr. Rowley was very glib, as he usually will be, making fun of the people in serious matters, when he said that he was busy, of course, saving lives, as opposed to and therefore he couldn't focus on these potholes. Of course, saving lives is relative here, because clearly 5,000 persons dying from COVID in Trinidad and Tobago, having regard to the kind of money put out over 22 billion, was it, thereabout, and then you have a situation where you have 5,000 lives, and then of course you have a parallel system that was also instituted, and to get 5,000 lives, having regard to the fact that when they started, the Minister of Health told us that Trinidad and Tobago is protected by the Almighty, and therefore that disease will not reach Trinidad and Tobago, and he went as far as to tell people, do not, of course, wear any mask. And then, of course, what we had was a situation where draconian measures were implemented in order to force people to wear masks, social distance, and of course take the consequential vaccines, and we can go on and on. So that experience has been a harrowing one, in spite of the statement by the Prime Minister. Police helpful cop gave gunman drop in Siparia. Again, involved with the police. The police in this case was probably duped, or being a good person, give somebody a drop, but that person had a gun who eventually was charged for that. But of course, social media inquiries caused the police to inquire, and they said that the person at the center of it, the police officer, really was trying to be a good Samaritan, a good police officer, by giving a person with the gun, who was charged subsequently for it, a drop. Trinidad Tobago society not serious about the school discipline, and this is another matter that, of course, I'm sure we want to discuss, because all of these children would have attended some.
Where it says society not serious.
Serious
That's
about
in the
school,
what papers is that
school
one?
That is Newsday.
Newsday. All right. So society is not serious about school children.
School discipline.
School discipline.
Yes. School
Okay.
discipline. Yes. And of course,
And give me a short thing. What the article say? What the article say?
It's coming out from the topical issue of bullying, and that the argument is from the tutor representative in Tobago is that teachers' hands are tied. They can no longer discipline, even when you speak.
No, but do you have the article there to read it first? At least let us hear what it is
I could do that.
Saying, not what you saying, what the
Yeah,
article is saying.
yeah. Well, I can summarize.
Mm.
I'm an expert in that area, but if you want to hear it from the horse's
Yes, I
mouth,
am.
I certainly will. Tutor Tobago Society not serious about school discipline. The article continues. Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association Tutor Tobago officer Brandon Roberts says the society is very hypocritical in its response to school indiscipline. He was responding to an incident at the Mason Hall Secondary School on October 3rd, in which fecal residue, meaning that tutu fecal residue, was allegedly thrown on a student's school bag. Roberts said, contrary to a media report, feces was not thrown on the 13-year-old Form 2 student. These allegations are not accurate, he told Newsday on October 8th. The student would have been in school pretty early. It was a little after 7 a.m. when she would have left the classroom, and a student or someone probably went to the toilet or wherever, right? They got feces, water, and threw it on the student's bag. He said that the bag did not contain many items, but the school would have put forward that they would have replaced the bag and the items. That's the report I got. The incident occurred on the same day. St. Stephen's College student Jaden Lalchan, 15, died by suicide after being bullied for some time. Lalchan's funeral took place at the JR&D Convention Center in Princestown on October 8th. Roberts said school bullying exists sometimes, and he's quoting now, I'm quoting him, sometimes the incident come to the media and we have the sensationalization around it. But when we have a society that has been quite hypocritical on the issue of school indiscipline, these things will continue. And it continues because when we have, as part of the disciplinary matrix, we talk about hairstyle policy, we talk about cell phone use, we talk about uniform and dress code. This is the same public that comes and speak against it, because hairstyle in isolation is a very frivolous issue for schools to be fighting. Roberts said hairstyle should not be viewed in isolation. It is part of the package of discipline in students. And when we have a minister, who is eager to jump on a typewriter and issue memos that nullify or strike out hairstyle as a policy from schools, and then we jump on top of that by issuing another memo talking about graduation, we are eroding the same things, the policies that school have as part of discipline. We somehow...
All right. But we got it. All right. You want to continue? Go ahead.
Yeah. We somehow...
But we got it. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I think this last paragraph will take it. But he's still speaking here, direct speech. We somehow want to pull them out and itemize them. We already abolished corporal punishment. Now you can't talk harsh to a student because that is verbal abuse. And there are rules since 2016 that highlight everything that police officers cannot do to school children. I think we could stop there. Roberts claimed that the powers of schools in relation to discipline are being eroded. So you see where he's thinking too much liberalized schooling as far as attitudes of teachers, and of course some of the rules that would have been implemented to give a little more leeway to children in itself, it appears, according to him, would jeopardize the discipline matrix that schools traditionally would have been subjected to. I remember, I don't know about you, Andy, but I know when I was going to school, it was very frequent for you to get a warning by way of a physical lash, and that was considered to be par for the course, especially if you
my teacher used to say
wrong.
bam 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 bam
Yeah.
bam. Yeah, we used to ball bam 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 bam. So every bam is a lash.
But of course, it is an international phenomenon. Really, it is part of the convention on the taking care of children, abuse of children, and so on. And therefore, that was one of the things, corporal punishment, to be rooted out of the disciplinary matrix that are available to teachers. Because let's face it,
But while we talk that Trinidad and Tobago,
there is evidence
but
that
while
teachers.
we're talking that Trinidad and Tobago, yes, you all can engage. By the meanwhile, you all can engage. What's on your front burner? The lines are open. The numbers to call in front of you: 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Or send us a WhatsApp voice note. Yes. Or give us a WhatsApp call at 366-3053, 366-3053. Well, I see people put on pink yesterday for Breast Cancer Awareness Day. I also see Lennox Smith here in the Guardian. Them only showing the murder count at 484. But I'm sure certain I saw the murder toll at over 500.
It depends.
I don't know.
It depends on where you're getting your source from. Clearly, depending on the source, you will get, of course, 5, and a discrepancy of so much that you wonder, well, what is going on? Yeah, clearly. But I was just finally making the point
Yes,
that
I also see in here too. Yeah, also seeing while you're making that point.
Yeah, I was saying that
But
there has been, of course, instances where teachers would have gotten probably up on the wrong side of the bed, so to speak, or they have some domestic problem, and then of course they take it out on the children, their charges physically. And then of course you also have the situation where parents would go to the schools and of course manhandle teachers as well for, of course, ostensibly or allegedly trying to discipline their charges or their child. So we have had all kinds of issues relating to that.
So true, because I want to really and truly get the people to engage, because I'm seeing the numbers dropping accordingly. So we need to engage. By the meanwhile, on that same topic you're talking there, let me take this call, but on this topic you're talking there, only the lines are open of the school. We called, you're going past that. Had it wasn't changed before, right? If it wasn't changed before, you know what I'm talking about, it wasn't changed before, that whole school issue of discipline in schools via the little lashing thing that we used to get, which I didn't mind back then, right? But in thinking about it now, I thought it was a good thing. Because I grew up getting licks in school, right? And many of you, Lennox Smith, grew up getting licks in school. When you check now, we who grew up getting licks in school, we with no way on the road of them who ain't getting licks at all. Them who ain't getting licks at all, like them going mad. But I think we culture don't go on past licks in school, because as you mentioned there, whereby parents will organize and go there. If you hit my child, that it get bad like that. No parent don't want nobody hit their child. That could cause bacchanal. And then it went to the extent to where it have teachers that get up on the wrong side of the bed, where the discipline a child and the child skin mark up. You know? So I believe we don't go on past that, but we was to stop that based on a convention, as you say. Kamla Prasad was the education minister back then. That was he had no choice in order to receive a loan. It was a loan, some monies
we
that the government had.
Barbaric.
Yeah. And in order to get that money, and that money was to pump in education, a couple of millions of dollars. Well, the government then needed the money, so they decide, well, hey, we go take the money and stop corporal punishment in schools. Wait, so that's how it went. But hold 1 minute there.
Member
Let's go
of
to
the
the lights.
United Nations would have had to come on board eventually. Otherwise, they would have been, of course, seen as a kind of maverick. Still happen. Of course, there are those who sign the convention and still engage, of course, in discipline of a physical nature. So let's see how that pans out. Yeah.
That's in other countries.
Yeah, in other countries, of course, yes.
Oh, so we could still set rules here then.
Well, if you
But
intend to
we
breach,
can't get here. That could be trouble.
yeah, but
That
you
could be
see, we are
trouble.
liberal in terms of information flow. Those are countries that where the information could be curtailed. But in our case, of course, because we have a very liberal information dissemination system, that's to say freedom of speech and freedom of the press. And that will get out there, and the Trinidad and Tobago branded as a barbaric, Neanderthal caveman type society. We don't want that at this stage of our development. We have
All right. Well, 1 minute, Lennox Smith. We really had a hole in that. It have a lot of people waiting on the lines. Go ahead. Yes, good morning to you.
Yes, go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Welcome to the Ground Report. And what's on your front burner this morning?
I don't know if I'm watching all the live or what, but what topic you all were talking about, because I calling and I'm watching at the same time. I don't know if I'm getting a delay.
You will get a delay there, but you go ahead. What's your topic? What's your front burner this morning? What do you believe is supposed to make news that's not making news?
But my front burner, the same lady that just showed the video.
Yeah.
What you all could do is put out a little words, whosoever know this lady come in and we could negotiate something. I saw people go thing and anxious because remember they're getting nothing from Rowley and them.
Yeah.
So opportunity to do business.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Next caller. Oh boy, all the lines are open. All the lines are open. Thanks so much, Felix. Oh boy. So all the lines are open.
And of course, it may be instructive to say that it is not about human trafficking or anything like that we are looking at. We will not be part and parcel of that. That is prohibited. We are looking at much more, let's say, acceptable method of earning some extra dollars if necessary, if the players are so minded.
Yes. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. Where you calling from and what's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning? And today is a very sad day, I must say, with that whole bullying. I felt hurt watching that funeral of that little boy there. I am all put in my head, my kids, and if they're getting that type of pressure there and ain't saying anything and them thing, so
Yes, it's very unfortunate. Yeah.
Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Yes, it's a very sad day with this bullying with the children, with that young man. You understand? If that parents are seeing it all the time, it's better to take out the children from school and send them back to the U.S. where he might have been the president, he might have been something, you understand? Because the children here, one time we used to have guardians, officers, used to be in the school and see what taking place. Now we don't have that. Everybody on this money trying to fill their pocket just up with their high heels and things. You don't have that now. The children suffering. But then we parents too, parents have to be more involved with our children. We have to talk to our children because sometimes the children might leave school during the day and come home with a problem and say, Mommy, this is what's going on. And the next day you see the parents going to school and having it out with the other parents. All these these things are to take into consideration. You understand? Because we can't blame one person. And blame the government too. Blame the government. You understand? Because look, I know here, it alleged, just imagine a this government in 9 years going to 10 years. And here's what they're doing now. They want to assess the children and their lives to see who are they get glasses. And all you're doing that. All you're doing that now because election coming. So all you just on games, all you just on the money, all you just on the election coming, and all you just nobody. Children and them in school need glasses. Eh? You want to tell me all the time, all of them know that. All you know that now because all you want the parents and them to get and run and say, yes, the government doing something good. Because why? All you know is the vote. The parents and them to stand up. So much thing going on in this country. And they have to stand up to this government. Nobody can stand up to this government. The government knows what they want. Right? And saying in parliament and saying they have the majority is where the government has to do. Now we have to towards them and tell them to because they're destroying the country, they're destroying the status of this country. So they have to go. They have to either get then they have to go.
Hey, don't forget to call me after the program, eh?
You know, sometimes when I really answer,
I only calling you. Well, look out for the call.
I'll tell you. But
I had to check you. You had to give me tickets. I had to give you. You had to buy me tickets, girl.
I'll call you after. Just answer your phone.
Yes. You had to give you a sale, man. Thank you so much. And those of you that again, that giving us the opportunity, and Lennox Smith, before we go on the guile, take time on the opportunity to go fix the lighting.
Yeah,
you look too faddy, like you're just man.
I'm looking at that.
Okay,
So I'll do that. I'm doing that as we speak. I'm doing that as we speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me see what's
Let me organize a movie day one time.
Yeah.
But
I'll take it off, in fact, and then come again. Right?
Yeah, you need to fix lighting.
Yeah.
That lighting need to fix. Bad.
Yeah.
Right. If not the lighting, Lennox Smith, it will be something, but we need to see you.
Yeah.
We seen everything else better than you.
Yeah.
And that ain't right.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So make sure we see you first, and we seen you clear, and then you could deal with that kind of rest of drama, bacchanal thing. Because that rest of bacchanal thing, it makes sense if we ain't seen you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue with the calls.
Yes, indeed. Of course, the lines are open, people.
Yes, the lines are open.
Good morning, Wrong Report team, and to all the viewers. This is Juice. Andy, I would like you and Mikey and Lennox Smith, right, to take some time to go around to the different secondary schools and check out the infrastructure. I ain't saying nothing else. Just go and check it out. You all have a pleasant day.
Morning caller, where you calling from and what's your contribution on the number one program, the Grung Report this morning? What's supposed to make news that not making news? Good morning to you.
Good morning, Andy. If you could just give me 2 minutes of your time, I just want to talk to
No
you.
problem. Yeah, you go ahead, no problem.
I looked at I'm making it very, very short because I know other people are calling. I looked at the whole situation with the trial yesterday. I watched the funeral. I was at office. And it was the most touching thing. Tears ran from my eye. I just had to come off it at a certain time, especially looking at the mother painting. Trinidad and Tobago, let me ask you a question. I am going to go political here. I don't care who's vexed. We have to go political because this is political. What is the Ministry of Education doing about this? What are they doing? What is the school doing about it? Right? Because that child didn't have the money that other child had. Because his parents had what? Money that, they give in the school and they could afford to do this and do that, right? So that poor child had to take all that because we don't have things in the school. Right? Yes, the government is going to play in this. And let me tell you something. You see, all here who vote PNM and have all this happening in this country, let me tell you something. Go to sleep now. We mightn't get it on this earth, but you see when we close the eye and we go over to the next life, we will get it. You understand? And I'm not talking to the people who actually wanted the change. I'm talking about the people who keep Christopher Rowley in this country here to have us like this. Because if Auntie Crimes was here, and yes, I'm going political, if she was here, things would have been in school different. You see children fighting, you know why people fighting, children fighting like that to Andy? Because children are being attacked and they are defending themselves. Not all children is fighting, want to fight. Because if somebody hit me, I am going to defend myself. So not every child is fight wants to fight. You understand? And what has the government been doing since all this fight going on in schools? Nothing. And we are the citizens who keep voting for the nasty, disgusting PNM is to be blamed for that little boy yesterday to have to go and rest because he couldn't take anymore. You understand? You don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know what somebody's going through. But let me tell you something. All you have more to take now. All you have more to take and all is wicked citizens. Wicked citizens to keep voting, keep Christopher Rowley, to have this country like this. And our youth can be going 6 feet every other damn day. All you're wicked. And they have a good day.
Oh boy, oh boy. Yes, 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 yes. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, people are angry, clearly, and that caller has reinforced what we have been saying from almost time immemorial. So it is nice that people are talking out now because we have no choice. Our backs are against the wall collectively and individually, and that is the manifestation thereof. So, well done, caller. I can have any
Hold on, Lennox Smith.
Yeah.
Next caller, go ahead. Lennox, fix your video by the time. Talk and let me see you. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Andy for Grand Young. I want to ask Wayne Meister a question, right? He's saying that bullying is a criminal offense. So why he had to go by the DPP for instruction to charge the little boy who interfered with his child for him to kill himself? I don't understand that. Is it because the boy parents have money and they're prominent that they don't want to involve police action in that, or the school doing the same thing too? They close their eye and they deafen their ears because the boy parents was part of the elite and was assisting the school. So I all of them call bubble, you see, they come out like termite out of the ground after the fact, after the child there. You understand? When the thing happening, all of them eye closed, their ears deaf, their mouth quiet. But that's the kind of hypocrisy that taking place under this government and under this in this country right now. Hypocrisy to the highest order. Have a good day, Andy.
Thank you very much, caller. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Next caller again. So those of you that are locked on to us for the first time, I'm Andy Williams, the Pitbull of Radio. Joining us in a little while back, well, Lennox Smith just left. Michael Colby joining us in a little bit. This is a Ground Report program, a current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago that deals with the issues of giving the voiceless a voice. That deals with the issue of democracy, righteousness, and not wrongchousness. Thanks so much for locking on to, for giving us the opportunity in your homes, on your gadgets, for giving us your ears and your time. So don't forget to share. Let's get other people on board. Okay? All right. Let's go to the lines. Morning caller.
Andy, Mighty K, Lennox Smith, Trinidad and Tobago Central here. Good morning. Andy, my friend Berna is, this thing's very heartbreaking. It's mind lost. You lost our words. You don't know what to say again in this country. Trinbagonians, how much more again in this we could take with crime, children, these type of things happening where they're committing suicide? How much more? So let's have this question this morning, as God created this morning here. So let's take some time off and look into the mirror and say, how much more in this kind of thing we could take under this regime PNM? This thing really has to boil down where it is a political thing. Because if we as Trinbagonians had put the right set of people in the right places, all these type of things would have been avoided. And it's sad, but this is reality. We have to face in reality. Look at the reaction of this kind of thing was taking place. This thing real sad and heartbreaking. Every God make a day as you go up on the social media. It's somebody gone down, it's somebody get chopped up, it's somebody missing. And it's miscalculating the original amount of people die in this country. What about all the people that we don't talk about? Thank God for you all that you can highlighted so many that what the other media and them is hiding from the country because they are affiliated together with the government. Everything is a cut and shive. Try this one, shove everything under the carpet to make the government look as though like they're doing something. The PNM doing nothing. If nothing, add nothing equals nothing. What my people of Trinbagonians and them don't understand. You know how many people right now you have to talk about stopping and committing suicide? It is not something good, but this is where it comes down to where there's reality. This is the level of some people reaching their life. It's like a full stop for them. Trinbagonians only have to understand the level of this thing going on right now. It's real. This is not a makeup thing. It is a real thing taking place. This is not a cartoon world. It's real people with real problems. Trinbagonians, we get the opportunity to get rid of this wicked carrying of country. PNM duty corrupted. We cannot continue having them there. If we make a mistake and put them out there, we do. I think we know. It's going to be real. I don't want to sit down in all your house and kill everybody. How much more does have to kill everybody? What happened to these other people that want to be in charge of these type of things to protect these children and them? Where they is? We need commissioner and the police. Imagine a music police vehicle right now to the crime. Registered vehicles. It's really sad. Trinbagonians, all you know in this death and people in this country, get rid of them once and for all. Enough is enough for them. Get them nothing. The Lord is this. Anybody?
Morning caller, where are you calling from and what's your contribution on the Ground Report, the #1 program in Trinidad and Tobago this morning?
Andy, a pleasant good morning to you and everybody else. Andy, a caller just called and asked you, the Ground Report team, to go in schools and see about what's going on, right? The point is, Andy, I've been saying it again and again and again. Why don't the 19 UNC members go and do their work? Why all you have to do them work for them? That's the point. People get hot under the collar when I talk about UNC. The other point is, Andy, the PNM supporters in pandemic time said they rather eat grass and stone than to see an Indian Prime Minister. How could these people be? Look what's going on in this country now, boy. These people could be so nasty, boy, and bad-minded and wicked and evil to see what's going on in this country now because of what they said and what they do to vote back PNM in power. Andy, thank you and have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, let's go. Let's go to the lines. Let's clear those lines. Morning call away, calling from. What's your contribution on the ground report this morning? What's supposed to make news that not making news? Talk to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and outside Trinidad and Tobago. Go ahead, caller.
This morning, I'm calling from Tobago.
Tobago, go ahead, Tobago.
What told you? People talking Trinidad and Tobago, this country here, because the way the politicians found themselves, and this what's going on is evil in this every day something different, some sad news. You cannot hear nothing good that make you feel good and smile at all. I am so long ago I told you all evil talking Trinidad and Tobago.
We are listening. Soon you tell us evil's talking Trinidad and Tobago. You go ahead and listen to your phone. We are hearing you. Don't worry about the gadget. Go ahead.
These people backing these people, they are evil to themselves. What kind of people they are? Why you all backing this kind of evil government? All you say what's going on, all you go give all the identity on them. And you all still dead. Unity and empathy and all this kind of thing. Look what's going on. The children and them getting involved. Because, oh my God, what it is. People all open all their eyes and thinking, all they think what you all are doing. Look how so many people suffering and all this still dead with these people. Oh God, man. All you ever happen. And you ever go. All you ever go.
Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. All right, I think he's plenty better now. Let me see if I can put him on. But all of the lines are open here. Go ahead by the time. Let me organize and play some voice notes too. Let me get some of these things off my back one time.
Grand Rising Ground Report on the Mikey Lennox. All the listeners, Grand Rising. Right, so my question this morning, I would like to find out from the Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Hines, and the Commissioner of Police, Earl George, if they see the citizens as a dead entity within a corporation, hence the reason why they treat the citizens in such disrespectful way and treat them as if they are less than a living entity. This is my question for the Minister of Security and for the Commissioner of Police this morning. Also, I want to find out from her, how often or why doesn't they acknowledge or pay particular attention to the rights of the human beings that live on this land? Are we under maritime law, or are we following natural law, which is God's law, which is the law all of us as beings under the sun are governed under? You know, one thing I noticed with Trinidadian or Trinbagonian people on the ground report, we as a people, there's only recognize we self when the rest of the world make we out. It takes people from all over the world to see and blow up this wood, and this is just a normal everyday woman, because it's not to say she's the only one in Trinidad looking like that. I, as a man, came across a lot of women all over this country with some kind of body we will drop your jaw, and these is normal everyday people who just live in normal lives. The rest of the world had to notice she for Trinidad now the thing, and then everybody going and talk about she. I just can't take that about this nation, bro. I swear, this can't take it.
Good morning, Ground Report. Andy, Lennox, and Mikey, and the listeners. I am amazed. I am appalled. And now put on the show, and I am seeing a video and hearing Andy objectifying a lady, and you must get in touch with her. What? What is the purpose of this? We now finish coming through an area where a child was being bullied in school, and everybody have a problem with that. And now you're bullying an anonymous lady. You don't even know the lady. And now you want to just cast opinions on her body?
What stupidness you talking, woman?
Shame.
What stupidness you talking, woman? You hear I cast opinions on that lady? Lennox Smith, tell that stupid, if you know you didn't listen, you jump on and you're not trying to understand. Please, before you make accusations, listen and understand first. What stupidness you talking?
Yeah, well, but she clearly has jumped to a conclusion, being presumptive, because of the experiences in the country in general. So I wouldn't be too hard on her. I'm sure that she's going to make another one, of course, apologizing, because your intention was strictly platonic. It had nothing to do with any admiration or seeing her as a sexual object, as the case may be. It was a question of some people would have contacted the Real Media TT management in order to communicate with the person trying to give her a job. Of course, we know that this some people take as a profession, people's body, and especially when they call them the maximum ones, there are competitions, etc., where people like that attend to pretend that does not exist. And if the person was really listening, they would have known it had to be something connected to that. That is why I was very particular to say it has nothing to do with, of course, trafficking of persons, as the case may be, but a legitimate bona fide, subject, of course, to the agreement of that person. There may be some opportunities for her. Is in that context, ma'am, that attention was paid by Andy to that particular person and triggered the call for anyone who may be in contact with her, or she herself, to contact, of course, Andy. Has nothing to do with any other issue that one would normally associate with by opportunists who would, of course, see that for other reasons other than something that is platonic and very, of course, sincere, and has nothing to do with sex object or any other negativity that might have conjured up because somebody did not listen in totality and did not get all of the information. Let me put it that way. All right, so
Yes,
I'm sure she's going to make another
so that's
sorry,
clear.
another voicemail indicating based on what she knows now to be the facts.
Right, and that is clear. That is clear, right, ma'am? Ma'am, what I did is, again, Real Media TT launched that video of a beautiful Trinidad and Tobago woman about 3 days ago. Trinidad and Tobago population is approximately 1.4 million people, right? That video indeed attracted over 2 million something people, including CNN and major 2 agencies that are interested in employment, in organizing, in getting to know this lady. And I watched it as an opportunity one time, knowing that it's Real Media TT, right? And having an opportunity just for Real Media TT too, because people work. Huh? So it's just an opportunity. All over the world, she gone clear all over the world, not based as a sexual object, but based as a plus size model. Model. It's not only them bony girl and them this model. Understand? Not them thin tall girl this model alone. Them biggies and them this model too. What wrong with modeling with clothes?
Well, I'm sure that she knows that there is an industry there that there's a popularity of that. Should I say quality of human beings who feel that they equally should be paid attention to as the slimmer version of the human female species.
Exactly. And I also mentioned, ma'am, because you know, get up. I said my WhatsApp phone, I barely having Trinidad and Tobago messages. It's only 8, number 9, number 10, number 12. A lot of foreigners. In the continent, well, on the African continent on the whole, she gone clear all there, all in Europe, all over the place. And oh God, it come like
So we only see it as an opportunity. That's all for her.
For the opportunity, technically she gets the opportunity, which is up to her. When we do get on to her, for she to make money based on her beauty.
So don't be too harsh on the caller, on the note maker. Because she may not have heard the entire thing clearly from what she had said. All right? Because she must have mentioned some of these things.
I just come here.
So
What real media TT? Don't get nothing. Works no way. The country hard. It have no job opportunities. And doing just this in order to get opportunities just like this. And mustn't take it. And some people will be online saying, but what? Hey, let me talk about bullying. Let me talk about this. Let me talk about that. Talk. How much will they buy tickets to sponsor the ground report? How much are you? As Mikey K say yesterday, that's why he ain't come on. Because only I said that talk from people. People rather rum shop talk. Talk. But when the seriousness come, in order for we to make way for ourselves, only don't want that. Just talk politics. Just focus on that. Stay hungry and dead. That is how I take it from that lady. Don't ever do me that. I didn't do nothing wrong. In no way I watching that lady. In any way as no sex object. In no way. I'm watching that lady as she getting a very good opportunity. And the real media TT on the whole getting the opportunity alongside her. I watch it as business.
Yeah, a symbiotic relationship really. Where they exist for the opportunity present itself for their mutual benefit. Symbiotic, yes.
Just come here every day. How much will they call him after the program? I'm going to give him a number again. I'm going to give him Lennox Smith number. I'm going to give him Mikey K number.
Don't be too harsh. I know sometimes.
Let me not talk about the lady. Let me talk about us now. Tickets. Yeah. Let me see. Call Lennox Smith. How much tickets you want for Friday? Anybody out there? 337-6940. 337-6940. Anybody interested in supporting the Ground Report program? We are on Dial the channel for 2 more hours. All the way back on radio. How will we make the money? How? You don't get a radio station neither for free. Yes, I have to pay. All I want tickets too from Mikey K. Call Michael K at 494-0938. 494-0938. And to call me, if you're interested in tickets today, I'll make a rounds and come and collect your all tickets. Or drop your all tickets. At 366-3053. 366-3053.
Yes, the intention is to tie up the financial part of it today as the maximum. Exceptions, of course, we may look at tomorrow, but certainly we would prefer to tie it up today. So we have, of course, at least a day that we'll be able to tie up loose ends on this venture. So those of you who have made a commitment, one way or another, to please, of course, I am still pleading to the business community. I think you have a golden opportunity to demonstrate your concern for what is happening and purporting to be democracy in this country. And I'm sure that you also have some concern because of your own survivability, having regard to the poor policies and initiatives taken by this government to, of course, in effect, stymied, and of course, emasculate business development in this country, entrepreneurship, and notwithstanding. So, those are the issues we are talking about here.
Nice. Many times we will call people out, oh, let come out. Now we this. And you just know the same people you just see. And the people who always talking, don't want to criticize. You don't see them at all. Morning caller, where are you calling from? What's your contribution?
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey, newbie, your new operator, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Lennox, I have a bone to pick with you this morning. Why must I not be too hard on her? She come here casting aspersion on Andy. Andy did not ridicule the woman. Let her know the difference between admiration and ridiculing. Andy was admiring the lady.
Yeah,
right?
Well,
You come here to
from the perspective that she may not have heard the entire utterances or comments of Andy. So from that perspective, I was making a sort of soft landing for her in that regard.
You want to say I'm bullying you this morning? Let them say it. I don't care. I don't care because they're not paying my bills to me.
That's all right. That's all right. I don't take it as bullying. I take it as constructive criticism in the absence of the total information.
You go ahead, Yes.
Yeah. Andy, let me tell you something. Now that the horse has bolted, they want to close the bando, right? How many years we have been hearing about this bullying in school? Most of our, and we have big women and men doing it on the chats as well. They are not exempted from it. You hear? Right? Because when you see you're a schoolyard bully, you become an adult bully, you become an adult abuser. You just continue with the flow, with your nastiness. That's what you do. Right? How many reports went in with that child and many other children until the child couldn't take it anymore? But in now the abuser, and I hear somebody want to charge me for abuse as well. Let them bring it on. Let them bring it on. I have some damn good lawyers on my side. Now, they might not be able to charge the boy, right, being a minor, but I am positive there are rules. And Mrs. Pasal said that they're going to adjust the rules or whatever to deal with these bullies and them, right? But the parents should have been charged for that child death. That child death should not have gone in vain, just like all the other deaths, right? Where was the principal? Where was the teacher? Nobody could have that child. And now everybody have a voice, right? Everybody have a voice. That some people find it annoying and all that, all they're only talking about the child death and all they don't want to move on with the manifesto, right? That's the level of the thinkers that we have in this country. The level of the thinkers. We have a bully sitting in high office, but I hear nobody talking about getting rid of he. I want to know where that lady was when Rowley has been ridiculing women. That time she'd be closing the French door. She don't hear that. A company to tell you that you're ridiculing the woman. Andy, we have to do something about this thing. We have, as parents, we have to do something about it. You think my children were not bullied in school? But I took the bull by the horn. I took it by the horn. I didn't care. The principal, the teacher don't want to do anything. I come in school. Oh, they bully me now. Come and bully me. We spend most of our lives looking after our children, making sure they're happy, they're healthy, and what thing. And then I tried to find the right word because I realized that we're on dial already. I tried to find the right word to describe this boy, right? And on top of it, you mock the child's death. You mock the child's death. He's our next remand yard. Maybe he's a future remand yard inmate. That was so disgusting and distasteful, Andy. But something has to be done. I think that parents, the boy parents should take action against the bully parents. They do something about it. Set an example of what it is going on. I mean, you all remember Gary Jagrup? He's the man that does the voiceovers, could mock Jack Warner and all these people.
Yes.
Right. Gary Jagrup put up a post that he was bullied in Presentation College. So this is not going on now. And it was going on in my days. But you see, some of us could stand up against these bullies. And you know what, Andy? It geared you up. It prepared you for the life out here now. That even you're all day now, people want to come and bully you. No, if you're working so. On the next point, Andy, I want to ask Fitzgerald Hines. We had fake document gate, we had panty gate, and now we have murder gate, right? That some unknown murderer, I think that's how we refer to the person, had come and tell him that somebody in the UNC paid somebody to kill somebody. He should have started that story with Once Upon a Time. He had nothing on Brother Nancy. I telling you, them could make up stories in Balize House. You see Andy and Lennox and everybody.
Yeah, but why they don't come out? Why they don't come out of the parliament and talk that nonsense?
Yeah, say it. No, but why no? Why you say no? Why you say no? Were you in the meeting with the man yesterday, the day before the man tell you that? Right? Andy, let me tell you something. They know they have nothing. Absolutely nothing to campaign on. They cannot come and tell the people, look, I did this for you, I did that for you, and all. They give me all their vote. Right? But they start now with their nasty lies to paint the UNC black. But I want to tell them something. We are wiser. Yesterday I went to the clinic in St. James Infirmary. And at the clinic, I went to the pharmacy to get my medication. And you know, you're sitting down there long before the pharmacy open. And then everybody's talking. Everybody's talking. People say we're not coming out and march. No, we ain't want no march. We want the election bell to ring. We go to teach him a lesson. We go to teach him a lesson. So all who want to come here and ball great as the PNM, all they will get it. The only way Keith Rowley is going to win that election is if Keith Rowley keeps it. And we have a close eye on he and finances. You get 10 million finances to do what? To do what? We would like to know. We would like to know. And all they coming to talk about somebody wanted to kill somebody, just like how they wanted to kill the journalist, and Rowley kept the emails for 6 months, hoping that she would have died, and then he would have come out and say, yes, you see, look, I have the proof here. But you see, Andy, they're cooking up these stories, but they're not sitting down and thinking about all the repercussions. They're not going into that everybody now can see it's like a piece of Swiss cheese. It have too many holes. But let them continue. But I'm still waiting on answer, Roger. And as Dr. Munilal asks, and I'm going to ask it this morning, how did this man Stuart Young get those documents? It's the same thing Stuart Young did to Vincent Nelson. After Vincent Nelson refused to testify against Anand Ramlogan, he went up to England and exposed the man. And that's how where he was working, they knew what it was going on. And they strip him of every title. That is what they should have been doing, the ones down here. All who get senior counsel and lying, strip them. Strip them, Andy. But we as parents, if the teachers and them and the ministry don't want to do anything about it, we have to do something about it. And Andy, before I leave, I remembered Keith Rowley in 2014 in Couva saying that they are going to build a special school for school bullies. Where's the school? He even built one for the good children, Follows for the bullies and them. Andy, thanks a lot and have a good morning.
No problem. Thank you so much, Miss Santa Cruz. Oh boy.
Well, of course, she was very forthright, and I think
Andy Williams and
fiery.
Lennox Smith.
Nice. So again, I must say welcome to all the viewers and Guile the Caribbean. Welcome to the Ground Report program. On top there, you see Lennox Smith. At the bottom here, which is me, you see yours truly, the pitbull of radio, Andy Williams. And joining us in a little bit is Michael Kerr, better known as Mikey K. Will be joining us in a little bit. So for those of you that are viewing us in Guyana, Jamaica, all over the Caribbean, those of you who are viewing us on Flow or on Amplia, pleasant good morning. We are the Ground Report and the Ground Report team. Hope you like what you'll be viewing. Let's go to the lines. So I'm going to give you the numbers. The numbers to call, 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call at 366-3053, 366-3053, or send us a WhatsApp voice note at the same 366-3053. What's on your front burner, Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean? What's supposed to make news that not making news? What's your beef? You have the numbers. Lennox Smith, you want to say something by the time we await those?
I'm looking at the article in relation to the this particular unfortunate circumstance of this 15-year-old victim of bullying and taking his own life. And of course, the article is very, very, should I say, incisive in terms of the matter meeting. It's now been part of the budget debate. And the article says schoolboy Jaden Lalchan's suicide death reaches budget debate. And it continues, both government and opposition members addressed the death of 15-year-old Jaden Lalchan in the lower house on October 7th as the budget debate continued. Opposition Princess Tong MP Barry Padarath and Dabidi Omira MP and the Minister in the Education Ministry Lisa Morris Julian addressed the issue, with the latter meaning Julian, saying there was a discipline matrix in place to address bullying in schools, and the ministry had a zero tolerance policy on bullying. She also urged parents to have discussions with their children and talk to them about bullying and other forms of school violence. Lalchan died by suicide on October 3rd after having been bullied for some time. Police said the matter was being investigated, and the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association President Martin Lumpkin called for enhanced programs to support victims of bullying. Well, everybody, of course, is on board now that that has become a reality, a subterranean issue that has been boiling, and now it has exploded. During debate on October 7th, Maurice Julian said condolences to the Lalchan's family, sent yes, classmates, friends, and all who knew and cherished him. Maurice Julian said, as a mother, she too felt the pain Lalchan's family is feeling, adding that this should never have happened. Madam Speaker, the circumstances, of course, quoting her, the circumstances surrounding this very tragic loss are complex, and discussing the personal and the sensitive details in the public domain would not be very responsible of me. However, I have seen children, adults targeted by other persons who see it fitting. Suppose she put some politics in it now. She said that the ministry must honor the privacy of Lalchand's family and recognize that there were layers in this situation that deserved careful consideration. We as adults in this house must not use tragedy as a tool. So she's playing politics, yes. She said that the Student Support Service Division had contacted the family and the school to offer support, and the ministry will respect the parents' wishes and give them the needed time and space. Education Minister Nayan Gadsby Dolly instructed the senior guidance counselor to mobilize the ministry's entire team to ensure ongoing support and monitoring were provided to the entire school and its community, Maurice Julian said. She added that the Student Support Service Division would continue to speak with the school's student as the situation was a challenging one for all. Madam Speaker, she stated, we must recognize that a range of underlying issues can contribute to a child's distress, and it is vital that we approach the matter with the utmost sensitivity and empathy as at this time. We do not need to make death a political tool. But while she was saying that, she was in fact doing so by, of course, just making the reference to politics, when she should just be talking out of her heart and as a mother, according to her. But they must bring in the politics. Maurice Julian reminded the parents that they could request counseling for their children, and the services were available in schools as well as at the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. Speaking to the government's intervention, Maurice Julian said Minister of Social Development and Family Services Donna Cox had sent her team out that morning to visit the family. So they are now, of course, after the fact, responding in an all of government clearly approach on this occasion. She also informed the public of the National Suicide Prevention Hotline launched last year, 800 COPE. That is, of course, COPE will mean 2673. While she was highlighting the procedures, some opposition members left, and Maurice Julian said she was delivering the message so someone out there might get it. And it was very telling to hear that some of the biggest bullies would walk out while she was doing so. You see, so politics, it is so despicable that I really don't want to read anymore, except of course the final paragraph. But just she's claiming that it's not politics, it must not be politics, but here it is, she's castigating and showing aspersion at the opposition for walking out. They may be for whatever reason, or they may be seeing her probably as a hypocrite as well. Bullying and intimidation is a major offense listed by the Ministry of Education's National Discipline Matrix, and it carries severe consequences, she said. But of course, we were told this morning that Dr. Rowley himself is a total and absolute bully, a national bully, and even a regional bully, if not a hemispheric one. That is how bullyish he is.
But hold a minute there, Lennox Smith.
Yeah, go ahead,
caller, please.
Callers, let's get them in this discussion. Pleasant good morning.
Pleasant good morning to you.
Incident of that child is really unforgivable, unfortunate, should never have happened. But this is what happens when we play politics with everything. Imagine 15-year-old was being bullied for however long a period that was, and no attempt was made to assist that child. And now we are talking about all that is available for persons like him. And where was the school in all of this, and the intervention that should have taken place that did not clearly take place? And this is not playing politics here now, but should have been aired, as they are saying we should not use this as a weapon or a tool against the government. But the fact is, who else will have to take the blame? And it will happen. It has happened. It will go, and people will forget very fast because we have that 7-day mentality. How many more of our children will have to face that same situation? Bullying is part of almost like the curriculum in schools. And where do they get this from? If the people in authority, the leaders in our country, are big bullies, what do you expect the children to do? They do the same thing. They follow leaders. And that's what they do. So we can't now remain silent on this situation. It has to be aired, and it has to be discussed, has to be ventilated, and relief has to come so that children, other children, will not have to one day, some other child, face that same situation, that consequence. And that those parents, I haven't felt that feeling, but I could only imagine what they are going through at this time, because we have failed that son of Trinidad and Tobago. And Andy, I would like to say, make an appeal to everyone to please support the Center of Brown Report, the VegQ and the barbecue that is happening on Friday. I would just like to let you know, I will pay for 10 tickets, and you all will distribute them to whoever you think is fitting. So I want to urge others to do likewise. Thank you all very much, and have a blessed day.
I think that's a very sagacious, a very knowledgeable caller. You have another call? Go ahead if you have another call. But I just wanted to comment that and to send that to the top of the class. Not because of the 10 tickets, but because of what you said about the children. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Caller.
Yes.
You know what? Kamala was the Minister of Education in Pandey government. And because of her over-indiscipline of her students in her school, she stopped the discipline in all the schools. She come back on government in 2010 and never tried to restructure that discipline method in the schools. You see what happened today? Now she's going and crying in people's school in the funeral. Senior council, somebody say why somebody and take it up. Well, I want to see senior council take it up. Kamala, go and try, take up the matter of in this that boy's death. I want you to take it up. Thank you very much, Andy.
Andy, I was waiting on you, but I think I want to say personally I've been disappointed that you didn't preempt that caller, and correct him, because of course we know that that came as a result of an international convention on the protection of the child worldwide, and therefore we have a universal or an international obligation through the United Nations to of course observe a certain protocols as far as children are concerned. One of which is the removal of corporal punishment, etc. in school. I suspect that he was speaking to that, because that would have been the bugbear, that would have been the topical issue, and it is still today. But to be fair to the Kamala Persad-Bissasa administration, they did put alternatives in place, and there were of course a dean of discipline and a number of course a support mechanism to make certain that children who may run afoul that they are brought back on stream, including of course the use of retired principals and teachers to, of course, provide such students with a special environment so that they can get back into the mainstream of education. And I think that caller needs to know that it is not about Kamala Prasad Bisasa and the removal of corporal punishment in her tenure, but it was an obligation of the country, failing which, of course, we will be seen as part of the barbaric and what I consider to be obsolete actions that countries like those take with respect to disciplining children. So I thought I should make that intervention. But go ahead if you have another caller.
Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. Where are you calling from and what's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Morning, Andy. I calling from Point Ported.
All right, my friend.
Renison Jeffrey on the line. And the reason why I want to call in my name is that I want to make a statement. Morris Julian, from what she would have said, that this is not, don't politicize the issue, is that one of the most total statements that I would have heard in the longest while. And let me tell you why I would have said that. I cannot, if an act of bullying take place, let me say to my son, can I go in the school and discipline the child or the teacher? And this is the line. You see, when you have people trying to clean up the scene, regardless to the cost or regardless to what they're saying, you see people making dirty statements like this. Morris Julian, don't know what she's saying. This is a political issue. So accustomed saying, don't politicize the issue. The feel they could get away with this. It takes the Ministry of Education to say this thing. No one parent could go in a school. So if a parent, if that same lady decide to go in the school and discipline the child or the teacher, what would that take place? Where would I hear in the public domain? Morris Julian, and I'm saying it plain, is a political dance for making that statement. You can't say that this is a political issue. This can't go in there and discipline the teacher if she want to, or the child, or the parent. It takes the government in this country to set that straight. So it is a political issue. So the nonsense that they are saying within the public domain, don't make this political. Don't make this political. It is political. You see, I would have dealt with this last night, you know. But this union issue that they had yesterday with that thing, you can't come out. You so want to defend the PNM that you giving your own liberty and going and making public claims. Don't make this political. How the hell this issue go solve? How it go solve? How? You can't be coming here and trying to, and I'll be seeing this thing. Andy, when you went the other day with the farmers' crops cutting up, the jump up again, don't make this a political issue. Crime situation, don't make this a political issue. So where you want? What you want? What the government telling the people? And here I was saying to sum this up. What the government is telling the people at Trinidad and Tobago is that they do not know their job portfolio. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well said, my friend. I think you should go to the top of the class because, of course, to talk that talk and then talk about the biggest bullies.
Good morning to you, caller.
Parliament is
I get you. Good morning, my Tiki. Morning.
Good morning.
Andy.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Tomorrow will be 64 years, Andy. The 10th of October will be 64 years tomorrow, boy. For the paper see tomorrow, I'm not seeing any money more to come. But the government doing nothing for the country. This government doing nothing for the country. The money lying to the public. But you know who take the lie? The PNM, Milbo, go take for the saying. Go pay your hand, you do nothing for the country in 9 years. We do for the country in 9 years. Only got a kind of pass salary on all that but in parliament and lying to people in the country. That means you only PNM supporters taking that. But I not taking that, you not taking that, and 20 minutes and followers not taking that. Tomorrow celebrating my birthday and they send the link to me. I had the link and not picking up on my phone. Have a blessed and pleasant day, my brother.
All right. Thank you very much. All the lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. Oh boy. All you know me, I not very, on all seriousness, all you know I is a person with vibes. I just go with mood. My mood really and truly, I'm not in a good mood at this point in time. Let's get to the points. Let's do what we have to do. My mind gets off. That's all. Right? Anyhow.
Yeah, but
The
to
lines
say,
open.
but to say
What
the biggest bullies would walk out while she was doing so, meaning that conveying a message from her line minister, I think is appalling. It is counterproductive. And as the caller with respect to the fact that this is a political thing, then of course the cliche or the term that is usually used is whether there is political will, and the fact that politics is part of that phrase or that clause, if you want to go, that sentence shows that it is about politics. It's the policies, programs, initiatives, and whether there are prophylactic or preventive mechanisms to avoid that, or are there issues where the school ought to have detected that, or whether or not the child had any area of opportunity to, of course, express that concern, or whether there was sufficient, of course, observation within the precincts of the school environment, especially when in session, to detect that. All of those are really and truly responsibilities that the political directorate responsible for the administration of schools in this case would have had to answer for. Clearly, who else? And of course, the fact that they have bring into the picture the Ministry of Youth and Sports to do something, and then of course the Ministry of Social Development as well, demonstrates that the political will and the political entities that should be brought to bear, not on this, but to prevent such incident from taking place, must be the object lesson. But it's clear that they are all about their political survivability. And Maurice Julian, of course, should demonstrated a poor exemplification of that high road that she should have taken in dealing with this matter. She was very petty, I think, and highly political, and that does not augur well for adjusting or amending or ameliorating the situation. It's very unfortunate, but they will not be spared any kind of all of the criticisms for this situation escalating to the point where it has, and it's just awful. We have a caller.
Oh boy. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, caller.
Yes, yeah,
Hello?
Yes,
go ahead.
we
Hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
All right. Good morning again to everybody. Andy, some people just want to call the radio station to say, I call, to put it on record, they call the radio station, right? But you see, again, I will go back to it. And who want to call me a big mouth and a loud mouth? Go right ahead. This loud mouth will correct misinformation. Your tagline is to correct misinformation. I am part of the ground report, and I am going to correct misinformation. Who like it or who don't like it, it don't bother me. Mrs. Prasad Bissessa, as Minister of Education, never removed corporal punishment in school. That was done by the United Nations on the rights of a child, the Charter of the Rights of a Child. It was removed. She had nothing to do with that, right? But as Minister of Education, she had to go along with it. Things were put in place. Then they left office, and I think PNM came in. When she came back, and you could always call Dr. Gopi and find out. You could always call him and ask him, why do you think Why do you think that they won the Mumbai Award for universal education? You see, people that just come and talk because they have a mouth. They won the award for universal education because of the way the seamless education and the way they went about doing it, and the rights of a child in the country. But you come and you talk about Kamala and they may do nothing. And up to now, she's only crying, and she can't do nothing. You for real? No wonder yesterday when Brooke and I was in a conversation about Bacchanal woman that's beyond this thing. And most of the Bacchanal women that on the chat is men. Oh, good God, man. All you come with good information now. We don't have it to deal with the PNM already. All you're coming now to talk about, Kamala remove it and can't put back nothing. They put back something here, and if it is that it was removed again, as we saw when Keith Rowley and them came into office, you can't blame Kamala. And if it was so good, right? Because you know, PNMites keep raising it. Kamala remove it, and I am asking the question here this morning. If it was so good, and you all find United Nations is something wrong, why didn't you all put it back? Look at how long all you're there. Why didn't you all put it back? Play man, come and tell me only did something. Put back, scrap what the United Nations say and put back corporal punishment. Let me tell you something, Andy. Some of these people, they're not disciplining their children and they're depending on the teachers and them to do it for them, which is wrong. All these silent monsters out there, all these silent monsters out there for the teachers and them to deal with. Now, I am not saying that teachers and them are so innocent, eh? They are not so innocent. Because it's in my days they're abusing children. If they don't like you, crap or smoke your pipe. Right? And to come now and say that Kamala and them ain't do nothing and Kamala only cried, well, I tell you that irritates me. For a big man like you to come to about Kamala crying, and what Kamala and them doing. Why you ain't do something? It's not like coming here and talking. Come and do something. Andy, thanks a lot. Take care.
And you know, fortuitous, I had a recent incident with my own son, which I think I should I can share so that we can get another perspective, if not open up the whole system, because of course he accompanied some boys, well, a boy from his class, having of course communicated with a gentleman who had some puppies, and it appears, well, from my investigation subsequently, he wanted to get rid of them, but he told them to bring a note from their parents in order to get the puppies. They went one day, but he wasn't at home, armed with a note that they wrote themselves to get the puppies. He wasn't there, and they took the puppies. The gentleman, having had discussions with him, so I can tell you that I went to him the night before. The puppies was the puppy in question was brought by my son home, and he then said to us that he was keeping it for the other friend who accompanied him on that day to get the puppy. It turned out that the owners of the puppy wanted to know that they would be taken good care of. That's all from the information I got subsequently from that particular owner. So he went to the school having missed the puppies that day, and informed the principal. You know what the principal do? The principal called the police instead. Called the police, and of course the police came, and of course she conveyed the concerns that she would have had. Of course, I went immediately when I heard it, because she did call home, and my wife indicated such, and I said, no, I'll leave all what I'm doing, and I went into the school. The school is the Belmont Primary School, government primary school. I went there, I sat there. Of course, by the time I got there, she wasn't there immediately, but then she came back, And whilst I'm waiting, I saw her. I then told her, well, who I am. She said, well, listen, I didn't have lunch. I don't like to be interfered when I'm having lunch. That is my interpretation. So she said after lunch. Well, of course, I in that period saw my son, and I told him, well, listen, I want to find out where you all got that puppy. So we went. He went with me, and then of course I sent him back to school. And up to now, I've not seen the principal, but of course I took matters into my own hands because I said I will go and see the police myself, and I'll also see the place where they got this puppy. It turned out that he wasn't there. I visited him twice during the day. It wasn't so I went in the night around 7 o'clock, just before my program. That's how disturbed I was, and I figured I should take some kind of action to generate the resolution. Having regard and was of the notion that the owners of the puppy called the police. So when I went to the owners the night, we then had our conversation, and the fellow said there's a storm in a teacup. What she wanted to find out is whether or not the puppies will be taken care of, because God knows he don't want them. And I had the puppies in my hand. I gave it back to him, and then he asked my son whether or not he wanted it, if he could take care of it. And of course, my son said obviously yes, that was an opportunity. I had no choice in the matter. I was put in a sort of Hobson's choice environment, and of course I had to agree because of all of the circumstance. But the fact is, when I asked whether or not he went to the police, he said no, and therefore instead of the principal look at, let me just complete. Instead of the principal
You need
look
to
at,
read people on the lines, on the paid lines, but I
let me
understand.
just, because this is important, this is relevant. The principal, instead of calling the parents and maybe the person who made the complaint, decided to call the police, and that puts a different color to the entire thing. And I'm saying it is those kinds of mistakes that generates, of course, unnecessary, let's say, situations that could have been resolved differently and more amicably. That's all. That's the point I am making. Go ahead, caller. A pleasant good morning.
Good morning to you, Lennox and Andy.
Yes. Good morning to you, sir.
Well, Lennox, that is a very unfortunate situation, I must admit, and it's an important lesson for us all. But I want to reflect on the caller who would have blamed the Kamala predecessor as Minister of Education.
Yeah.
My sympathy goes out to him, because during those days, it wasn't, social media wasn't so available to give people information, and you had to read and understand what was taking place in the country. And obviously, this individual, incapacitated when it comes to reading and understanding, continues to wallow in that ignorance. And maybe we should find a way to advise callers like him and other people who is similarly afflicted to get some remedial help and start to learn to read. They could always buy those defunct second-hand West Indian books, 1 and 2 and 3, and see if they could help themselves a little bit, rather than they arm themselves with a telephone, a smartphone, call your program, and spew that kind of stupidity based on their ignorance, of course, throughout the airwaves, which irritates my good friend who called a while ago, and she was very upset. But she shouldn't be upset, because, I mean, he is evidence of failure in the education system. And, I mean, Ms. Bissessa may have to carry some of the responsibility for that, being once a Minister of Education and then a Prime Minister, and did not reach out to those people. I thank you. I'm happy that I could make it.
I like your contribution. So I would like you now to give me an idea now of should Miss Bissessa and all being an education minister, but no, she wouldn't have been back then. But should the education ministers before, should they not to take blame for, because Rowley, Theot Young, all of them are educated, very educated, but yet still so dumb. So what will be your what will be your contribution on that one there? A weight of it.
You see, what happened is that, yes, you're quite right. But all I was saying is that every Minister of Education, before and after her, would have to carry some responsibility for those people who never was able to function as able to read and write or use a newspaper for any other reason than swatting flies or wrapping fish, that kind of thing. Because those days we weren't with social media and smartphones and that kind of thing where information was so readily available. So to be harsh to the individual, I think we should just allow him to drink the puncheon rum that he's drinking, although it's 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning he's drinking it. And, see if somebody, some neighbor who probably know him could go across him and try to sit with him with a West Indian, read a book one and encourage him to learn to read. Because, I mean, he has the right to vote, and that is a dangerous, dangerous thing. Imagine that could vote and determine the future of this country. I hope that he's not in possession of an ID card or a person on the electoral list, and that's all I'm hoping for, really and truly. Because them dummies, I'm sorry to call him that, but another got a hard end.
Well, all right, thank you so much, man. Thank you. Oh boy. So caller again, just constructive criticism, all right? Just constructive criticism. You're really actually caller. You're really you're really shut up,
remark.
Yes. You already should have known, caller, that because earlier on, me and Lennox Smith was discussing the education system and corporal punishment in schools, and you always look on early, caller, and I'm sure you would have heard that, but I didn't hear when he made the statement because I was trying to multitask. I was doing other things, but Lennox Smith did correct it and correct you. I'm sure you heard we mention that due to various policies out there that they had to abolish corporal punishment based on getting the funding, the government getting the funding, getting money, and that was to go on under the back then UNC administration, back then education minister, in order to get through. Don't take
but it wasn't even the money
yes,
but it was a decision made by the world body, the United Nations, in that convention, and every single country that is a member of the United Nations would have had to follow suit.
Some money was
system,
we had what some money was to get. I'll go back and I will check it again.
Not just the money, but the principle. So whether there was money or not, the world had decided to go that route in order to protect the children of the world. You see, so the money was secondary, in other words.
Well, right. So, caller, you learn something. Next time, just before you come out with that day, just make sure you get some clarity, right? But you are and will always be welcome to the Ground Report. Everybody always will. Right? And in the Ground Report and in a big family, it will have, this one will say, hey, this one uneducated, this one stupid. Hey, it will have its ups and downs. Just like the lady this morning that I burst out on. I want to apologize to you for my bursting out on you there. Right? I apologize. I'm sorry. Right? Because I should have taken in consideration. You did say that you now get up and you now lock on and you just see this woman and them kind of thing, and so you didn't know too. And in the future, just so I could apologize before you could say that accuse someone of anything. Please make sure you get your facts. Make sure you are clear in whatever it is you are going to.
Yes, that is the moral of the story. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Just make sure you're clear before you organize and accuse anybody in any way. Because the same way how Lennox Smith, Santa Cruz, this last gentleman get upset based on that last caller talking nonsense based on corporate punishment and blaming Kamala. It's the same way I burst out on you. Basis of you don't have the information and you come and you lash out on me, right? So I apologize to you. At the end of the day, you are a woman, and it's man on the whole must not in no way show that those type of aggression there at any reason. Right, so I apologize to you, ma'am, because I know you are a regular caller to the program, or you do always send voice notes. So keep looking to the program, continue to organize and invite other people to the number one program, your number one program, the Ground Report. Right, so Trinidad and Tobago, the lines are open again. It is open. What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning? What's supposed to make news that not making news? This morning, the topic seems to be the bullying. And in real, to you, the people, to you, the audience, the wide audience throughout the Caribbean and in Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana, the Caribbean, the topic is bullying and a child committing suicide. But we must also put in consideration that we have a government that the bullies in school taking a note from the government of Trinidad and Tobago, from our Prime Minister down, is a bully. The Speaker of the House, and he said, George, she's a witch. She is a bully. Children watching them in Parliament. Children listening to them while they are around their parents. Hence the reason I apologize there, because I have to lead by example. And that way, despite what the lady do, I was not to have that outburst. Forgive me. Humility in life carries you a long way. And I'm a man of great humility. When I'm wrong, I'll say sorry. Yes. And some of the politicians and some of the people out there have to learn what is humility. Right? So what we're dealing with in Trinidad and Tobago, it's a government. That is a total ring-down bully government. They bullies the opposition. The Prime Minister bullies the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. He talks to us, stinking dog of a bully. He have no zip for his mouth. He even tried to bully this program. Yeah. Well, not try. He did. Bully this program, the Ground Report. Listen to him.
I was going to the Oval one evening, and I stopped as it was drizzling, and a radio station was on. And on that radio station, which wasn't my favorite station, but it was on in the vehicle I was in, a most vulgar and outrageous radio program was on the airwaves called the Ground Report. You all remember that? In that report, it was the nastiest, dirty. As a matter of fact, what caught my attention was how filthy the program was on our airwaves. And I was asking myself, how could this be permitted on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago, election or no election? And it was all about me and my father and my mother and this, and I had raped this and I had done that, and the Ground Report. They want to know what the plan is. The plan is to put an end to this.
But we're still alive.
Yes, but only just by way of confession, because we were retaining that part of that video when he made that speech for defense in case he was minded to try to accuse us of defaming him. When of course I was for over five years calling him a rapist and a pedophile. On the traditional media platform, but apart from what he said there, he did say that it was being executed or being said by known felons, people. Just imagine that. That's a serious statement by a prime minister who is attempting, of course, to defend himself from an accusation, not an accusation, from a fact that occurred in his earlier life that he prefers to try to forget, and that the population must not raise, and therefore you will understand why he is a consummate and an accomplished bully, as he uses, of course, offense as the best form of defense, because he doesn't want. And I'm talking here about, of course, his aggressiveness and his belligerence against journalists in particular, as a special and a selected group of persons that he bullies in order for not answering pertinent questions, and more significantly, journalists becoming intimidated and not asking him the right questions to get the right answers so that we can make an informed decision when we go to the polls. Yes.
Because afraid, because
yes,
he going and buff them and bully them.
Yes, he has been very belligerent, yes, very warlike to the journalists and that is significant, and that is the undermining fundamentally of our democracy, because of course you have the fourth pillar of democracy is that of the journalists and the media, of course, quite apart from the executive, the legislature, and of course the judiciary.
Yes. Morning caller. Oh boy. All of the lines are open. Morning caller, where you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning? Go ahead.
Morning on the Lennox, Mikey.
Nice. Go ahead.
And all the platform and Gayal.
Yes, good morning.
Uncle Lennox.
Hey.
I would like to ask you if you know education minister by the name of Anthony Garcia.
Yeah, very.
He came. Right. He was a tutor president. He led the teachers organization in this country for some years. And then he became a minister over the same said people he lead as a union leader. Now, I just want to ask a question that I'm not making it political. This has to be a religious question because we have to pray to God. Now, under his watch as a minister, see where the education system and delivery had reached, the morals, the delivery of basic guidance and supplies for the teachers and them and the environment was dilapidated under he, and the trend started. So all this talk, anytime the PNM, you see Rowley find the panties in the toilet, anytime I catch it with them down, they'll say don't make it political. So to put it to rest, the tutor president, Mr. Lumpkin, anybody listening, tell him, get a number for you to call him and ask him, where is the school safety officers, the guidance officers, and the dean? Because when it first started, they said they're going to put all of those things in the schools. We just know, people they see a dress tail going down the road, run behind that. Since this come up again, I raise it on my head. Let me ask for where are the systems that they put in place? Because you see over the years, the record showing that how much children fall into the cracks with the programs that this PNM education system is failing the children. And they will come and talk a quick fix like a piper, like a drug addict. They take a quick fix a snort. And they feel good. Yeah, we catch them. So let me ask the tutor president presently, what is the system and everything for a safe environment for the children to learn in? And anybody who go call him and discuss it and say, I would like to hear them. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Feiserbach. Oh boy, the lines are open. Let's take those calls. I'm going to play some voice notes in a little bit. Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean, what's your contribution on the #1 program in Trinidad and Tobago, the Ground Report? Whether you have similar issues out there with your government, whether you have similar issues out there when it comes to schools and bullying in schools, whether you all have similar issues out there in having to deal with plenty dotish people and trying to make sense out of some people nonsense, you are free to call the program. The number is on the screen. The number to call 225-6644. 225-6644 or 239-5120, 239-5120, or give us a WhatsApp call or send a WhatsApp voice note at 366-3053, 366-3053. Welcome to the Gong Report, caller. What's your contribution in the Gong Report this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Go ahead, Miss Ann Brown.
I understand the workers' platform and our Gael family and all on the live stream. My topic this morning, I want to say a big thank you to our hard-working MPs and senators. Hats off to Saddam Hussein yesterday with his delivery in the parliament. Again, thank you. Andy, that caller this morning did not hear your topic from the beginning. That was very unfortunate. It is so unfair when I hear people calling and saying untruths about Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. This government is in power 9 years, billions spent. And what is their track record? Just take a look at the state of our schools. No progress. Children fighting. Poor lunch service for our kids. They have rights to. Late book grant distributions. And the list goes on and on. Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, her tenure as Minister of Education cannot be compared. Look at what is taking place now. We not only want to live better, we not only want to live, but we want to live better. Have a great day, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next caller, a pleasant good morning to you, caller. Where you're calling from, and what's your contribution on the #1 program in Trinidad and Tobago, the Gong Report? Go ahead, caller.
God bless you richly, but I want to find out something. They say sooner or later the government will take your money from the bank. You ever heard anything like that?
Lennox Smith, would you be able to address that sooner or later about the government taking some money from the bank or something, sir?
What my concern is that there is no specific information directing to that aspect of it, but we know that the government has been peeping, for want of a better term, and getting access to people's accounts. That much we know, and we saw that, of course, during the course of the exchange of that $100 bill from cotton to polymer in that period, because Stuart Young was on public record having said that a particular barber brought $1 million to exchange, and he was inquiring as to how they got that, and they doing some kind of investigation. So that tells me that the government is prepared, of course, to intrude in people's...
Because the government didn't have no right to know that.
That's right, exactly. And the banks
had no right to know that.
That kind of
which means the bank on the whole had no right to give that personal information to the government.
That's right, exactly. Because
they want to give information.
Laws connected to that.
There's so much money that they're supposed to tell us if they want to give personal information of citizens. No problem. But make sure that we know how much Rowley have in his account, how much Wari have in his own, how much Stuart Young have in his own, how much Fitzgerald have in his own.
Do as I say, but don't do as I do.
How much notes they change? A pastor change the amount? How much them they change when they must change too? They're supposed to give you that information too. Then we find out them get as politicians. Some of them never work nowhere in their life, just public life.
Lennox Smith
and multi-millionaires yesterday. Go ahead, caller.
Lennox Smith. Yeah, a political Apostle Duncan. He say Trinidad going to be real rich just now because they going from the east, they going from the west, they going from the north to do business here. What you think about on that?
I understand who said that, and I really understand what you said. Some Pastor Duncan.
Pastor Duncan.
Yes, and what he said?
Trinidad will be rich just now.
A lot of business coming here. Trinidad will be rich.
I know that, Pastor. the Chief Justice the church say from Dego Martin. He's a ring dong. Let me do a thing.
No, but listen,
Anyhow.
listen.
I know.
He could only
Andy,
be predicting
Andy,
under
you know,
Kabla business and the new government. That's how that can happen. That's the only way. To that extent, the prediction is positive. But if it's under the PNM, well, clearly he would have, of course, misinterpreted whatever vision that he might have had. I want to tell, of course, in the diaspora, the people in the region who are watching us now. Listen,
what I was saying, that pastor song like a PNM. Caller, go ahead, just make your closing comments, please.
Of course. Andy, you know speaking to you?
No, tell me now.
I don't want to call my name, man. You came by me already.
All right, look at what's in the phone, man. Flute man, boy, the flute man.
Yes.
Protest boy, boy.
I'm the elder brother, you know. I is 83, you know.
Oh,
I the elder brother.
So you are not the flute man, the organist, and and what again he plays? He plays some other instrument. I think it's the tok, and he did it with extreme precision and professionalism.
Like what Western man used to play now, that kind of
Andy.
And
I used to sing in a radio. I used to go and sing on a radio program with the man they call what the man from Shoguners. I used to go and sing in a radio program, the gospel song. On Sundays, you know.
Okay.
Pastor Pulong.
Nice.
Okay.
But still, before you go, just we want to have an idea because we're doing a survey one time to know our reach. Where are you calling us from? Just area.
And then you came by south to report
all right. That's what we just want to know the area.
Just give me a moment for by way of information. If you're calling from any other island, I think you may not be able to get that number directly. You'll have to add, of course, Trinidad and Tobago's code 1868. You have to put in front of the number before you get, of course, us here directly, just in case you are getting a challenge, right? So
yes.
One,
but on the screen, they will see the 1868 on the screen, right, with the 225 6644. It will start 1868 225 6644. And if you're going to call the 239 5120, just put 1868 in front of it. Let's take our next call. Morning. Where are you calling from? The contribution on the go for this morning. Go ahead, Dego Martin.
Mike, I want to tell you. Okay, people. Pixie, Sleepyhead, Grim Van Winkle have basically validated the American communique on criminal activities in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, the Americans, I think in the 2023 or 2022 report, high government officials have linkages with human traffickers and criminal gang.
Yes.
Well, he said in Parliament, a gang member confided in him with a $60,000 hit. I wonder if it's the same journalist KCR was talking about. This man fixes something else. I mean, they say he just validated the Americans say, and the police have to investigate he now. Because if criminals are his confidant, then he know everything about the criminal activity in Trinidad. Think about it. A man gets $60,000 for it, and he going and tell Minister of National Security, and that Minister of National Security, I wonder if he providing a safe haven for that man. You understand? The Americans say it. I mean, they say Sabga say all kind of things. The 1990 and the police are investigating. No, the other thing is 50 million the man going to spend on sardine and biscuit, you know. Only realize how much sardine and biscuits he's going to buy. Because he would entertain, if the hospital given the patients that is what the KCR has to do for your entertainment, and he could cut down that bill to about less than $50,000. How much sardine and biscuit he go buy. I go and have a nice one.
Thank you very much. Next caller. Ole, let me try to make it short and sweet, please. We want to get in everyone. Go ahead, caller. Why are you calling from?
Yes. Hi, good morning.
Yeah, please move from your gadget, please. We're getting the feedback.
Okay, you can me now, Andy?
Yes, yes,
You
yes,
know?
yes, yes. Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead,
Okay, yes. You know, Andy, Lennox, and Mikey. Andy, listen here. This non-cash society that Rowley and them want to bring into this country, cashless society. Okay, listen here. It's how a lady called Suzette Lowe. It's our lady called Suzette Lowe, right? And this lady, she did a very, very good expose on that cashless society. Try and get she clip me now. And this is to educate
Send it
people on
from
what
her.
is
Send
really
it from
going
her.
on.
You will send it from her, right?
All right. Okay, yeah, thanks. All right, God bless. I go on.
All right, no problem. Again,
Send it for
the
me
lines
too,
are
caller. Send it
not
to me
until
too. You have my number. Send it to me as well. I mean, want to
Yes.
use it on the corridor.
The number's to call. So you could send it to Lennox Smith at 337-6940. 337-6940. You can send that clip to Lennox Smith. Well, you have mine. You will send it to me at 366-3053. 366-3053. Callers, please let us know where you're calling from. Let us try to make it short and sweet. A pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to the number one, I can't say radio program, I have to say now, online program and television program in Trinidad and Tobago between the hours of 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on a morning. Welcome. What's your contribution in the Gong Report this morning?
Good morning, sir.
Morning to you, sir.
From Tobago.
Go ahead, Tobago.
First time caller.
Nice, nice. Welcome to the Gong Report, Tobago. Welcome to the Gong Report, first time caller. Go ahead.
I've been listening to you on mornings, right? I've been listening to you every morning. And some people make sense and some don't make sense. Right? What I really call to say, we need Camilla in Tobago. We need no PNM in Tobago. We need the UNC in Tobago. Camilla must come to Tobago and keep a little meeting and let people meet with her. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. Well, I want to believe everybody understands what you're saying.
And you are not the only one. You are not the first one nor the only one. So there may be a consensus there on a case. Of course, they are listening as well. So they will make the decision as a political organization that is preferred above all others, inclusive of the PNM.
We need PNM, no more PNM to much address to Trinidad and well, Tobago people have sense. Tobago people have sense. So we want now the general election to move them all entirely out of Tobago. We must hear nothing about no PNM in Tobago. Nothing about no PNM. We have a camera and TDT. Nothing about PNM because they're not good. Some people say that Balizado is dead, but Balizado is dead. Balizado is dead. Trinidadian who get in there. And what happened to Trinidadian again? He gave them a little money and they turn stupid. Money is not all. What we need is an upgrade of Trinidad and Tobago, and we see Camilla do it already. But we know she could do it again. I listened to him manifesto 1 and 2 times, and the manifesto was perfect. Teach only don't get no manifesto. What teach only do? You should keep up Camilla. And Camilla is a protein. Camilla is a lady with sense, but he have no sense as a prime minister. You all have a nice day.
Thank you, Tobago. But the thing is, Trinidadians love that Rowley Tobagonian fella more than Tobagonian love their own Tobagonian person, Dr. Rowley. Trinidadians, Tobagonians don't want Dr. Rowley as a Tobagonian. But Trinidadians love that Tobagonian boy. I don't know how they love that man so here in Trinidad boy.
Because they're stupid. They're totally stupid. Them is something like a goat back foot. Stupid. Stupid. We don't want to hear Kijawri. We don't want to see him. We don't want to smell him. We don't want to do nothing about Kijawri in Tobago here. Nothing. We want Camilla in Tobago. We want our mother in Tobago. And not our donkey.
Wow. Okay, Tobago. Thanks so much for your contribution. Wow.
Is it Rowley or is it this thing called, this amorphous called the PNM?
Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Wow, wow, wow. Before I take an next call, Lennox Smith, you wanted to say something there quick?
I was just saying, if they love Rowley, the person, the physical, or is it that amorphous, that abstract called the PNM? Because you see, we have always argued that if you take Rowley, Imbert, Hines, and you let them form their own party, nobody fought on them. So it has to be something more because the personalities clearly are obnoxious, they are evil, they are wicked, they are diabolical, and they are opportunistic. So clearly is this thing traditionally that people call the
Yes,
PNM
yes.
that they have gravitated to over the years and believe that they cannot divert or divest themselves from. We have a
Yes.
duty, of course, to make them understand there is a distinction, and that one with the other means that Trinidad and Tobago is in for a tough ride, and therefore it is inimical to our interests, and therefore all of them must be gotten rid of.
Nice. Go ahead, caller. I had to teach my partner to I go teach my partner Lennox. They try hard because it had people on the lines, but I want to engage you because, as you tell me, always engage you. So try hard, my brother, to try to make it as short your engagement as short as possible, especially when we have people on the lines. Oh
Well,
boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I will know that until you say.
All right. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Morning, report.
Yes, good morning.
I want to point out two things.
Oh, but where are you calling from?
From Santa Flora.
Santa Flora.
Yes.
Go ahead, Santa Flora.
So,
what's your
two
contribution?
things I want to point out. One is that our society has demonized our fathers who traditionally have been the disciplinarians of the children. And they have also attacked the family. So, the condition of the discipline and the conduct of our children rests solely on those that attack very important pillar of our society. And the second thing is, where is the recovery plan in the budget? There is none. It's just more tax, more tax, more tax, and then with a fresh flavor of mismanagement. That is really the ruin that our country faces. Come on, people, vote out this government. Thanks very much, Oli. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Santa Flora.
Santa Flora, boy, that's deep south, boy. That is as deep as you can get.
Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Nice. So let me play some voice notes. Here. Wow. Let me play some voice notes, Trinidad and Tobago. Let's hear what the voice note people have to say this morning on the ground report. We calling. All right, let me take a call again. Morning, caller. Before I start those voice notes. Morning.
Pleasant good morning, dear Andy. And down here, caller from Tobago, our UNC coordinator for Tobago is Chairman. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, we are listening.
Is Chairman Kenwin Phillip, Mansalina Christian Pond, Sandy Grandi, and his contact number is 684-6236 for the caller from Tobago. Just a matter of information. Thank you.
All right, thank you. But what the caller want is Kamala in Tobago. They want Kamala. They want to see Kamala in Tobago. Yes. Well, obviously, she will supposed to be escorted by Kenwin Phillip, which is the coordinator for Tobago. But what I know the Tobagonians, when they call me and all, they want to see Kamala.
But of course,
I don't know if it's
I think we must put, yeah, we must put that in perspective, because that information is crucial, because there are some people in Tobago who believe that there is no presence at all or interest in Tobago by the UNC. So we must thank her for that piece of information. So at least there is some overture, some kind of presence that people may not have been aware. Well, now that you know.
And I hope that you all take the number for Kenwin Phillip. I hope you all take it. All right, let's take our next call. Welcome to the Ground Report, the #1 program now on television and on social media in Trinidad and Tobago. What's your contribution this morning? Caller?
Hello, morning, Andy.
Hey, morning, Malcolm X. How are you going, my brother?
Morning, Lennox Smith. Morning, Mikey.
Good morning to you.
Andy, you have to get a little advertisement stating that you all on Gael now, because it has plenty people out here don't know about the program on Gael. You know? So if we had to get a paid ad to let people know the hours and the time of Gael. And what I concern is this cash flow business where they come in with. It's something serious, and as the brother say, get the lady report. Because that wouldn't be for the poor people. The poor people will suffer under that. I don't know if Lennox could remember in the days of the ration card. That ration card that come like the ration card modern now. It's a modern ration card that Inboard looking to implement. Now the people in Cashew Garden still complain about the entrance at the road. But I hear the government boasting that they collect some sort of $1 million in land and building tax already. So I want to know if they could fix the entrance to Cashew when you're going in from the Tabaquite Road, if they could fix that road for the people that living down there, because it have a serious problem. PNMN want to fix it because they say it's a UNC constituency. And UNC saying is a PNM area housing scheme for voter pardon. But the people have to pay land and building tax. They have to pay all the taxes. One thing I want to ask, just as how the government legalized marijuana and they did pass all kind of bill for you to have to take the injection for COVID, up to now they cannot pass a bill for corruption, mismanagement, and accountability with the $3 billion that Inboard can't answer for. When people, we can't be always saying, but UNC, when it will stop corruption and mismanagement of public purse, it's time for that to end. All you have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Malcolm X. Oh boy. Any more calls, callers? Because I want to go to the voice notes. Until voice note contributions. So let's see. Let me throw out again. The lines are open. The numbers to call. For those of you outside, don't forget to put the 1868 225 6644, 225 6644, or 239 5120, 239 5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call. For those of you outside, call us. Give us a WhatsApp call at 366 3053, 366 3053, or send that needed voice note of your contribution on the same 366 3053. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the Ground Report. Tobago, go ahead, Tobago.
Yes, yeah. So now it's out there. It's from Tobago. I'm saying the same thing we need camera here right now. And the stone of the bill rejected become the head cornerstone. Eh? Okay, we don't want that stinking, nasty man to take our role into the road. We don't want to see him. Have a good day.
It's increasingly becoming universal, boy, almost unanimous.
With Mikey Williams and Lennox Smith.
Nice. Oh boy, next caller. Hey, so Tobago, welcome. So I will welcome all Tobagoans that are looking to the Ground Report for the first time, or seen us for the first time. I'm Andy Williams, better known as the Pitbull of Radio. That's Lennox Smith to the top, better known as the Bigger Word Man. And our next co-host, Mikey K. Well, he's absent today, but you're going to meet him soon.
Don't forget,
so the lines are open.
With respect to the patriotic lunch on Friday, we're hoping to tie up things today so that the collections and all of the deposits that are supposed to be made, the exchange tickets for money should be done today, because of course there is a preparatory mechanism to be put in place to determine who and how much and where. So therefore you will be between, if Mikey comes on, he's responsible for that logistics in terms of collection. But those who you would be in contact with, you can also of course glean that information from them, whether it's Andy, Mikey, myself, or other elements that have volunteered to assist us, so that we can have your lunch on time on Friday. But of course, the bottom line
Nice.
we try to collect today as the final day. Of course, if you wish on the day itself, if that becomes necessary for you and you really need a lunch on that day, well then of course you do your thing. But
You all please contact Lennox Smith if you are interested to give us that sponsor at 337-6940, 337-6940. For those of you that would like to deal with Lennox Smith, for those of you that would like to deal with the Pitbull of Radio, because seeing like it's overcast in Trinidad and Tobago, if you want to deal with the Pitbull, you can call me. Because I have one or two people that were supposed to call me, you all ain't call me yet. But say thanks to my the one or two sales that I got, the two sales. You know, well, let me see, I'm gonna take my 12th sale so far. 12 tickets are already sold. Thanks so much. So you can call me at 366-3053, 366-3053. Or you can get in contact with Michael Kerr, Mikey K, at 494-0938. 494-0938. Right, we look forward to your support with our patriotic barbecue. Quarter, a pleasant good morning to you. Where you calling from and what's your contribution on the #1 program, The Ground Report, this morning?
Morning, sir. I'm calling from Southern Main in Europe.
Southern Main Road, Europe.
Problem I want to raise with you guys this morning. On the Southern Main Road, we have a couple bars, and the bars has no parking space for their customers. What happens in the night? These patrons block up the Southern Main Road and all the people driveways and stuff like, and nobody does nothing about it. The police, when you call them, it doesn't really respond as they could, and we want to know what we could do about these people who have the bars running with no parking space, and I don't know who does renew the license for them, etc. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, and I will organize and pass within the area, and well, more on a night time, as you say, and I will highlight it. You know, across social media.
Don't
Thanks so
forget,
much for your
people, of course, if you need tickets and you call me, we will be too willing to deliver and collect at the same time. One can't go without the other. So free of charge, unless you want to contribute, of course, to the gas, no problem. But that is the service that we are prepared to give all day today until, of course, because as I said, we want to tie up all the loose ends today with respect to the patriotic meals. So we want to thank those who have already come on board, but the businessmen in particular, we hope that you will make this effort at this time to address that matter in support of the favorite program on mornings, the Ground Report.
Nice. Caller, listen, good morning to you. Where you calling from and what's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Andy.
Oh, hey, Malcolm X, go ahead, my brother.
Listen, I don't want to be too calling, but
yeah, we are hearing you, Malcolm X. Go ahead.
Right. One of the basic topics I forget to tell Trinidad and Tobago. The AGC workers have to be thankful to the UNC government under Jolene John and Rudy Monilal that the workers that retire there getting a pension now. As daily paid workers, they are getting a pension, not the old age pension. They getting a pension. They also had all settlement of the permanent list, permanent country, and I want to say, under Mr. Moonan as the chairman of the AGC, the most set of AGC workers ever get house is under Mr. Moonan. Newman George come as the chairman there. He never give out a house besides the one personal friend who he know. He wanted to give out a sheet. And this is what AGC workers have to be thankful for. And for the fourth time, I will be voting for the UNC government. I don't care who. I voting for UNC because I have a pension here now.
And let them know you was a strong PNM. Let them know.
Listen to me, Andy. I born in a PNM. You couldn't say nothing in my mother house. My brother did like NJAC and he couldn't say nothing about NJAC when coming to election. My father, if he ain't like PNM, he had to vote PNM because he ain't sure to get food. And let me tell you something. In both and them make me realize PNM is not the government for the poor African people. In other words, the black people, because we to the bottom of the race under PNM. We is the bottom under PNM. The Indians in Sawa benefit in El Sico and all about they benefit under Kamal and his brother Shah Mohammed. The Indians in South benefit under Mahabir. Tell me what we benefit in Lafontaine, Belmont and Caranage. And we still going down that road. And we seeing we inboard bringing ration card with the African people in this country go suffer with it. It's we who sell the little boy leg and breadfruit and mango and things by the side of the road.
We hear you, my brother. Thanks so much for your contribution.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Time to play some voice notes. Some voice notes. People go say, hey, right through we talking, callers getting through. We have we voice notes to play. Oh God, all in Glaya live still, all in pain, we voice note, right? All them text message again, all you. So let me clear up some of those voice notes.
When you mention Russian, those kinds of cards that our friend meant, Russian card, it shows that things are real difficult to do. Every time you say Russian card, you remember the early days in the Second World War and the First World War. In fact, when of course you had to have a card to get a little bit of rice, a little bit of sugar and so on. So that is how bad they are saying things are. To get back to those days and to mention that in these times shows how poorly the PNM has performed. Go ahead.
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead, caller.
Malcolm X, I don't remember the whole of the East-West corridor is PNM and watch how it is today. From San Grande right down to Port of Spain. Check it out.
Russian guy.
Lennox.
Hey.
Right, thank you very much. Here's a caller. Come on, Oli, I want to take some voice notes now, please. Let me run through this, please, now, please. Thank you. Oh, boy. Just need to play some voice notes now. Ah, boy, it didn't play. Yes. Go ahead by the time, Lennox Smith.
Yes, I was making the point, but the last caller wanted our party to communicate something to me. Suppose he will call back. But of course, whilst we are awaiting your voicemail, mean to be played. Not that you're preparing, but we have them collected, and Andy will momentarily have them aired on the #1 program on morning. So don't forget, of course, we are live right now on Gael Caribbean. So if you want to switch, you can do so. But of course, that is only between 8 and 10 o'clock. We have 2 hours now. We started with 1 hour. But of course, as things expand, that is why, of course, we want you to support us with that barbecue. That will be the first, of course, in several ventures that we will be pursuing. But we expect that it will be handsomely supported, simply because, and while of course we know that we have some work to do still to get the information, we expect that you will assist us in telling people, listen, the ground report is now on social media, YouTube, Facebook. I know that there are plans for other platforms, but for the time being, and of course we have been associating with workers' rights, or that union, and then of course you are on Corridor Transformation every morning as well, once the ground report is on simultaneously. So it's a simulcast with all these various agencies who have extra or excess capacities, or people may be more familiar with, of course, these other platforms and prefer to get their daily dose of information from these platforms, well, of course, you are invited. All part and parcel of making certain that the gospel of the Ground Report reaches every nook and cranny, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but in the region and elsewhere. Don't forget, of course, we invite the region to call in as well. So you are invited. Don't believe that you have been not you are not connected, or you are not associated, or we don't expect calls from you. Yes, we do, because you may have similar problems like Trinidad in your own neck of the woods, so to speak, and you will want to vent it. And of course, it will reach your those persons in your own island or your own territory. So that is the kind of symbiotic relationship that we believe must be done at this point in time to deliver information that is pertinent and developmental in nature. Andy, are you ready?
It's one of the things that he forgot to tell you all, or mention to you all. While we are live on Guile the channel from 8 to 10, 2 hours, the program, the Ground Report, starts at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
So you all can get us on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, on Corridor Transformation on YouTube, Love Laventille on Facebook, and on the Workers' Right platform. Right? So, yes. So you could be a part of the program from 6 in the morning to 10.
Yes.
Just log on to Real Media TT and the various thing in what I mentioned there. I'm going to play this voice note there. Let's go. I need to get these voice notes out because time check, it's exactly 9:30. 9:30. I them voice noting. I can't understand this at all. Let me try next one. Nah. Oh,
yes, people.
boy.
Sometimes the Murphy's law prevails when, of course, if something has to go wrong, it will at the worst possible time. But of course, we as Boy Scouts always ready and willing, of course, to fill the gap, whatever lacuna that might have taken place, or any vacuum that you perceive. No, we are stickler for always being active and proactive, and not, of course, subscribing to dead air, as is known in the industry. When you are silent and everything goes blank, they call it dead air. No, we always make an effort to fill the gap.
While I organize with the voice notes. So the lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. The lines are open. The numbers to call 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120, or give us a WhatsApp call at 366-3053, 366-3053. Still send your voice notes by the time. But the WhatsApp calls is working in you. So go ahead, Trinidad and Tobago. The lines are open. We're going to also take your calls by the meanwhile. What topic other than that it is you feel brought your attention, or should be at the attention of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, or within the Caribbean? Lennox Smith, what topic you think should be brought
from the sad state of affairs as far as our children is concerned, and the protection thereof in the school, and I must say home, as well as to and from home, that that space there where they will have to travel to get to school and or home, that is an ecology by itself, and therefore, of course, the criminal elements, among others, and bad company, etc. We caution those young people to be very, very circumspect, one, and of course parents to be very careful as your children, of course, try to make use of their educational opportunities. Of course, the Republic Bank held liable in safety deposit box heist. Of course, I think the husband of the president did this case on behalf of Republic Bank. Well, they lost it because it was a case where for several hours bandits entered the vault of a particular bank. I think it might have been in Cuba, if my memory serves me right. Let me just confirm that. And
while I get it, caller, pleasant good morning to you.
Yeah, Cuba, yes. The Cuba branch. But go ahead, caller.
Good morning to you, Andy Williams.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Lennox Smith.
Good morning.
And good morning to you, Mike. Good morning to the listeners of the Ground Reporter. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Andy Williams, I am listening to the budget replies, And who give the government the authority to sell out we assets like this? I hear which part they want to sell out Federation Park. Dr. Rowley and the PNM could just sell our assets just so they wake up in the morning, make some non-disclosure deal with some business people, and they don't have buyers to buy out our assets. And the citizens of this country just sit down quiet and say, well, Rowley sell we assets. And we see no protest. I want to ask the citizens of this country, why are they not protesting? When Dr. Rowley and Imbert and them selling out all we assets. When, let me say today, 2025, Rowley administration and the PNM not in office. And you sell out we assets like that. It have government who come in and government will do business with those assets and make it profitable. How it is? Dr. Rowley and the PNM cannot take we assets and make it profitable, but they will sell we assets, and a businessman can make it profitable. What they doing wrong that can make it profitable? Thiefing out everything? Who give Dr. Rowley the authority to say, well, all right, they're going to sell out this hotel in Tobago? Dr. Rowley, mother and father, your wife will get that? Your children will work hard and do that? Taxpayers bill that. For you to manage. You failed for 10 years in managing it. We paying you $60,000 a month to manage that. You failed in managing it. You want to sell it. But you want $50 million for the office of the Prime Minister for entertainment. What kind of Prime Minister spend $50 million on entertainment? Andy Williams, what type of government spend $50 million for entertainment? We know entertainment costs a lot of money. PDD show you that. PDD parties, it costs millions of dollars. What Dr. Rowley want? A PDD party in the office of the Prime Minister? $50 million. And you put $1 million. $1 million in the Children Authority to see about children. What type of government we have in this country, citizens of this country? Why it is always sitting down? Let me applaud all the bloggers and them that's speaking out.
Thank you.
Let's sit in no room. Why is all the senior citizens always saying no room? The future of this country, your children and your grandchildren, will have nothing to benefit. Andy Williams, are you saying something to me?
Yeah, just saying thank you, because when you hear a phone ringing. Thank you.
All right, then let me take that next call over it.
Oh, boy. What is that? Oh boy. Yes, Lennox Smith, you go ahead by the time there.
Yes, of course. I missed this one, and I think I should bring it to the attention. More tragedy again, and this occurred only yesterday from the information we have, that a woman, a baby murdered by relative after years of abuse, months of threats. The story is another harrowing one, where, of course, years of abuse ended in tragedy for a mother and a 14-month-old daughter when a male relative went berserk on October 8th. So that was yesterday, chopping them to death. Reports say the man also went in search of Tara Ramsarup's son, who was at school, burnt the car of her friend at Barpo and then tried to take his own life. Wow. Police responding to the cold-blooded attack held the suspect while he was walking into Platinite trace with a piece of rope in his hand. His distraught mother told Newsday she believed he was intent on self-harm. The tragedy unfolded on Tuesday morning as Ramsarup, the mother of 4, went to Clark Rochard Government Primary School to drop off her 8-year-old son. So there's another
Hold on. He killed his wife and children or child.
Yeah, he killed the wife and the 14-month. He didn't get the other one, who was at school at the time, but he was on his way there to do, and he of course burnt his friend's car. So apparently, I don't know if it's the car he was using or traveling in, whatever it is, but this is a very tragic one once again, and it's becoming more and more tragic, more and more heinous, more and more very terrible in Trinidad and Tobago. The tragedy unfolded on Tuesday morning as Ramsuru, the mother of 4, went into Clark Rochard Government Primary to drop off her 8-year-old son. She was confronted by the suspect who lured her to his home at Location Road off Rochard Road, Barpaw.
They was not living together?
No, it didn't look so. So no one knew what happened inside the walls.
That children, mother and child, he do that too?
Yes.
And they was living in separate homes?
It appears so.
And he leaves
his house to his home. She went to drop the child off. He lured her coming out from dropping the child off at his home in Barpaw. Yeah. So just one more paragraph, I think it would put closure to this understanding of this situation. No one knew what happened inside the walls of the makeshift shack where he lived. But shortly before 11, he walked to the home of the nearby relatives and told them he had done something bad. He took a piece of rope, jumped into his vehicle and drove off. So he burned somebody else's vehicle, a friend vehicle, but didn't burn his. I suppose he used that for transportation for his evil deeds. I don't know what kind of satanic curse is on people in Trinidad and Tobago. This is
and it's Dr. Rowley and his government understand the devil roaming, because our prime minister of this country and his cabinet is ungodly, and they have the rot of evilness due to their governance are all over flirting, all over the place flirting. Let me play those voice notes and them there now. Quick. Let me play those voice notes. Wow.
And I would be suspicious of any policy that the United States comes and tries to set in the Trinidad. You guys like to big up the USA like they are some lords or whatever, when they're really not. And most of their policies actually do damage to the country instead. You guys need to smarten up.
Right. Next voice. No.
Andy, good morning. I was listening to something yesterday, and where Michelle Benjamin from Member Parliament for Moruga said something about some highway, and the speaker and the set judge saying it was too distasteful. I wonder what distasteful was she? When Rowley used all his nasty words, Fitzgerald Hines used all his nasty words, all these Member Parliaments use nasty words, PNM Member Parliament use nasty words. It's not distasteful to her. It's very tasteful for she, because she like it. What a hypocrite she is. And you have a nice day, bye.
How the coordinator for Tobago could be from Trinidad? What kind of What kind of commerce is that? Or you see, really have to be going as goats?
Yellow is the code. Think for sure I know. If the sun don't shine, the day will be a gloomy day. If the sun don't shine, the day will be a gloomy day. Yeah, you went all the way. Rising sun.
Andy, pleasant morning again from Brooklyn. Okay. See, we have a big statement made by Minister Fitzgerald Hine yesterday accusing high-ranking UNC officials of plotting to murder someone. How come we ain't talking about this? You understand? There we goes again with the same stupidness that Rowley had in his possession for 6 months and said nothing about it. You know, I want to hear more about it. I want to find out how come he have this information. He said the police have it, and up to now the police are investigating nothing about it. Nope.
Good day, Andy. I have a problem with these parliamentarians in this budget debate. When somebody on their legs and they're talking in parliament, why does all the other people in the back of them have to be on the computer device or the phone? That is a big disrespect to the people of this country. Or they're getting paid to come there and do the people business, not to mind all their own business with all their phone and texting and all this sort of thing. I see them watching them good. Or they're not getting paid to do that. Or that is big disrespect. I find the Speaker of the House should put your foot down if she have a foot and tell them shut off all the device and turn it off when they see debate going on here. Because I the people business. Or they come in here and disrespecting the public by having all their phones on and doing all their foolishness and playing games or whatever it is all they're doing in there. Or let's just stop that. People paying all they to do their work, not to play games. Have a good day, Andy.
And yeah, Lennox, everything in Trinidad is politics, right? So them only talking a pack of crap, right? You train them in the school for the pandemic we're going there, you train them is stupid. You train them see how the Prime Minister bullying the whole country to take vaccine, locking out the bullying out people, lock them out the country, all kind of thing. You train them seeing all that, so where they go learn from it? They learn from the Prime Minister. Right? Bullying the reporter, bullying your own people and them in the Senate, telling the girl all kind of thing right side there. So that is a part of bully. So they train them seeing it. So where they go learn? They train them a thing. So all it they get real. It's politics. Because the politician them doing it. And they train them see it. So we expect. Right? We expect.
Andy, good morning again to you and to everybody. I really, really agree with my friend Woodbrook. They have a lot of bacchanal women on these radio programs. Andy, at no time did Mrs. Prasad Bissessa on her own remove corporal punishment in school. I don't know why these people don't get information before they come to run them out here. It was the United Nations Charter on the Rights of a Child that stopped corporal punishment in schools. Things were put in place for indiscipline. Mrs. Prasad Bissessa them left in 2015. You're still blaming Kamala? You're still blaming Kamala? I telling you, you're a PNM agent. You ain't had no shame to come here and say Kamala was crying and things, and Kamala and them never do nothing to put things in place. And then when all this so come to run here with all the verbal diarrhea, all the vex because people correcting all here, Kamala had nothing to do with removing it. That was instructions by the United Nations on the rights of a child. But all this is so what they say, I call the radio station, or they don't care what all they call, what crap all they just want to call and talk. They PNM in office since 2015. They never did anything. But you come to blame Kamala and talk about Kamala was crying yesterday. Somebody really not no shame, no? Really not no shame. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, let's continue. Let's continue those voice notes here. But I want to believe all nearly finished.
Good morning, Andy. Lennox, wrong report. That caller, that lady who just called in, sounds like some Trinidadians will know about it. These extreme far left feminists who take everything out of context and would portray it as doing some sort of exploitation and whatsoever utter nonsense. It had comments even on the post that was trying to make it look as though the video was intended to insult the lady, embarrass the lady. And I made comments and I responded to them and I made it clear. I said I highly doubt this video was posted for that purpose. It was to highlight a naturally curvy, thick but curvy woman, a Trinidadian. And as the other guy said just now, I see these beautiful sort of shaped women in Grandy all the time. They may not be as thick as this woman, but they have all the curves. They have all the different assets and liabilities as this other woman. That's not objectifying, right? People like to take everything. Nobody trying, no, as you rightfully said, nobody trying to know this woman is not to be exploited or to be used in any sort of degrading way. You are saying that you want the woman to get in contact with you in case she is interested in some sort of modeling, right? Not anything that is explicit or anything like that. Not anything that is X-rated. We are talking about normal modeling. There are plus size models outside there, and there are a lot of, as we all know, all over the world, people use plastic surgery to get similar bodies. May not be as thick, right? May not be as full bodied as her, but they use plastic surgery to get those different, you know what, sizes, shapes that she has natural. So this is not about insulting the woman. This is about admiring a natural woman who really did look outstanding, right? With a little exercise and whatsoever. She could even look better than that. Look even better than that. Because she has the natural curves. That's the reality. That's not insulting her. That's not demeaning her. That's not degrading her. That's not exploiting her. That woman on total nonsense.
Nice. Thanks for your contribution. And for those of you that are locked on to on Gael, we are looking for this lady here in which it is he's talking about. A couple of agencies, well, right, a couple of agencies, well, 2 agencies called from foreign, right, showing interest in her being a model, right, as a plus size lady. Right, I was happy to do it because it was, we on Real Media TT launched about 3 days ago. Trinidad and Tobago have approximately 1.4 million people or so. This lady picked up attraction to the tune of over 2 million something people in 3 days or so, and it have a lot of people showing interest. So I was just using that to get in contact with this lady. And also, well, look for she to get that opportunity now. And also look for the opportunity for Real Media TT, knowing that is technically we find her, you know, it always have a like finders fee, this kind of thing now. Right? This is the lady that we are looking for here on Charlotte Street. Let me give you that picture there. Right? We are looking for this lady right here. Right? We need to get in contact. She from the Port of Spain area. That's on Charlotte Street. That video was done on Charlotte Street. Right now, she making wave on CNN and various platforms outside of huge interest. So I watch that as a blessing for her. She's a beautiful, beautiful plus size lady. And if the opportunity arises for she to get an opportunity to make money in modeling, it is their thing. So I'm trying to get in contact with this lady. So if anybody knows this lady here that on Charlotte Street here, please you could try to get in contact with the Pitbull 366-3053, 366-3053. Let me say thanks to admin. Yes, Emily, thanks so much for all the great work that you have been doing when it coming to Real Media TT, and when it coming to the WhatsApp. Let me say a pleasant good morning to my Valerie. Thanks for all the good work. So for those of you that are viewing on the channel, you may be on Frederick Street or you know a family member that know this dirty lady here. If you all can get in contact with me, right? It have again 2 agencies from away. Call. She's making waves to the outside, right? You all can always get the video on Real Media TT on Facebook. Yes, on Real Media TT on Facebook. I also mentioned my WhatsApp on all is full with 9-digit numbers, 10-digit numbers from all over the world. The whole of the African continent, Austria, real people are looking interested in some, well, as they say, on various things. But my grounds with her is to make her a professional. You know, somebody from Trinidad and Tobago, and 2 agencies have interest, and whoa. And then now, well, all the other talk to me, media TT too, you know, and then I discuss with the woman actually if she's interested and them kind of thing now. Right? So anybody know this lady on Frederick Street here? Well, on Charlotte Street here? Could you get in contact with yours truly, the Pitbull of Radio, at 366-3053. Nice. So let me get back down to our thing there. So let's surely see that beautiful Trinbagonian plus size woman. Very, very nice woman. Nice. So let's get back to us. Yes, Lennox Smith. Well, the time now is exactly 5 minutes to the hour. Lennox Smith, 5 minutes to the hour of 10 o'clock.
Yes.
So, you know, we will want to wrap up the same exact time with Guile, the channel. I want to wrap up exactly on time.
Yeah, well,
so let me see if you have any other.
I will be as
go ahead.
as possible. I think we would have lost an opportunity if we didn't express our concern with respect to the censure by the Speaker of the representative for Muruga Tableland, when of course she referred to a particular road or a highway that was promised, and she said, of course, she was repeating somebody else's word. In the community that said let them take that road and put it between the leg, and of course the speaker felt that was objectionable. It wasn't parliamentary language, but of course one cannot help but reminisce on the Prime Minister's statement when he called women, of course, are like golf courses and you should groom them, and he went on, of course, with all of the what I consider to be misogynic statements that the Anisette George is now concerned with as a misogynic statement of disreputable quality, when of course nothing was said about the Prime Minister's statement, and here it is, a woman speaking about another woman, and she made an intervention because she believes that it was her call. I suppose it was, because she did in fact after the fact express her deep concern and censured her. What was the penalty? I've not yet reached that part of the article. I know that there people like Ms. Santa Cruz would have been following that for sure. But that was the basis on which she got the eyes. He caught the eyes of the speaker in a derogatory sense. Yeah.
All right. Hold 1 minute. Let me take a call. A morning call. Where you calling from? What's your contribution? Make it short and sweet.
Andy, Felix, I sent you a video concerning Twiggy where she condemning PNM on TikTok. Listen to it.
All right, Felix. Thank you very much. Now let me play.
That'll be another one, Andy. That'll be another one. She has been regular in terms of condemning the PNM. Yes.
Right. Let me play a voice note now because we want to wrap up on time.
Good morning, Mikey, Andy, Lennox, Croft, and the Carlos Secretary. We are run by a set of political pirates. They are pirates. When I say they are pirates, they are pirates. They are pirates, and a pirate don't care what he do. He will do anything to get what he wants, or what they want, right? Inside of them, they are like the venom. They are like Komodo dragons. Anything they touch, it just look away. This is what the government is. They don't care. The Prime Minister, he don't care
Because since young, he don't care what he does. He do anything. He have no respect for women, children, nobody. And this is what's going on.
Thank you so much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Don't forget Trinidad and Tobago. Time check, it's about 2 minutes to the hour. So don't forget tonight, corridor transformation with yours truly, Lennox Smith. Yes, yes, yes. Tonight, corridor transformation with Lennox Smith. And don't also forget the observers with yours truly, Michael K. Mikey K. on the observers this afternoon right here on Gaia, the channel. Yes, yes. Mikey K will be right here on Gaia, the channel from 7 to 8. So to you, the Gaia viewers, look out for our co-host Michael K. And after our co-host finish at 8 o'clock, you can always look on to Corridor Transformation on YouTube and Love Laventry on Facebook and get yours truly, Lennox Smith, with the Corridor Transformation. So until tomorrow morning, please God, on behalf of the Ground Report team, yours truly, the pitbull of radio in who I am. On behalf of the team, after God family comes first, be safe on the nation's roads. Until tomorrow morning, at 6 a.m. we start. You can get us on Real Media TT, Facebook, YouTube, on the various platforms. We are out of here.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
We have come to the end of this morning edition of the Ground Report from 6 to 10 o'clock now. 2 hours of television on Dial, Caribbean, yes. And of course,
so the territory broke and they say that recession.
Don't forget, of course, tonight the corridor transformation is on. And we are going to continue, of course, with looking at EBC and other matters there too, as we have an inevitable elections to win. To win, meaning that we, the people, must win through the UNC and Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Have a wonderful rest of the day. God bless. And don't forget, of course, those persons with tickets, we will be communicating with you to collect this so that we can put in place all that is required for the representation of those tickets to you in order for you to get your patriotic lunch on Friday. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Once again, God bless. Bye-bye.
Just a little harder. If we just get one more try, life could be much sweeter. From the time we analyze just what was the problem, yes, we start making very positive moves to solve them. We fired the old set of managers we had working, and it's a new group we went and we bring in. And if the goods we require them new managers not supplying, when election time come back wrong, it's new ones we bring in. But if it's one thing about my people, I could guarantee that they would never ever put party before country. I know the country facing is dark, is sour, and our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, you have one little thing that I want you always remember. We could make it if we try. treasury was full and happy time some was enjoying. It's in over and Laventine poor people was living. Now the treasury flat and the country come back to square one. Poor people remain on the same old ghetto in dungeon. But to get the economy return today on some footing. If the same poor people 10 days and cola they're taking. And without social unrest, poor people paying the price. Because they know for the country nothing too much to sacrifice. And if the country facing its darkest hour, so our people